This podcast contains adults using adult language. You have been warned.
Looking back on the past where we still had a chance. We were pawns in a game that we could not win.
Oh, man. I'm tired.
Well, I don't care that you're tired. We're about to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Are
Was
we?
that the first thing that went on?
That is the first thing that went on. And guess what?
I
You're just,
vote nap first.
you're just going to have to deal with it because we're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons. So, hi,
Fine.
everybody.
Fine.
Live it. Do it. You're not the boss of me. I'm not the boss.
I don't
I am not
care,
the
man.
boss of anyone here, but I am the dungeon master of this particular game. Yeah. It is I, Saint Brian, your dungeon master friend or fiend. For this evening, we're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons with a game that we call Team X, which is an official franchise of Acquisitions Incorporated, based out of Pinedale, with exclusive rights to the Challenderwood region. We have a lot to get to today. We've got a list of things that our players would like to accomplish.
What the hell is that?
This is
I missed it.
I didn't.
Well, I don't know. I said
I saw her
A.
like reaching for
AI.
things, and I became curious.
but the
I was
the nose should fit through the A part. It looks like
Oh,
it's
true. Well, hold
Yeah.
on. I want a different. No, I like
It
purple.
looks like-
I got multiple colors. There we go.
there. See, that works better. Then you have the dangle. It's like if AI were a Nilithid.
I have the little dot. Me.
So anyway, we shall start today, like we always start our game, with in quadrant 4, and the shenanigans happening there.
Oh yeah, me.
You.
Well, we'll do the Scarlet Letter.
Topical. I like it.
I'm Clues playing Gem My Gem Weaver Tinker Norm Extraordinaire. I've completely lost track what I was gonna say. So we're just gonna move on.
She's already in character, guys. All right,
Listen,
I have
all
so
good.
much in my brain right now.
it's all good.
it's all good. Moving along.
Hi, I'm Viking Goat. I'm playing Cynic John Truck. And he is super exhausted. The third bulk of nature cleared. Man, brain is not working today.
No. Say heat stroke, buddy.
Oh my god.
Say heat stroke. You gotta stop doing that to yourself. Gotta quench that goat.
Continuing.
I am Blind Cleric. I'm playing human fighter Hugon Valander, who's recently discovered that he has political aspirations, and who is in the process of fashioning a defense for a defenseless town. Yeah, after their initial response to defense was, "It's not in the budget."
Not for what you were looking to do, no. But some capital improvements have been made.
Free of charge, I will add.
So continuing.
Oh, after this.
Continuing.
Don't blame me. I voted for Hugon. I am Roz, aka Purple Monkey Robots, aka for this Dungeons and Dragons session, Eno, the Tiefling Bard, who was probably gonna die. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway,
Feasibly, we could all do that.
we could all die at any time.
Well, we're all headed there eventually, right? It's just a
It's
matter
true.
of how quickly.
Yeah.
So before we get started in today's game, we're gonna do the whole, we'll reconnoiter, we'll figure out where everyone was, we'll recap so everyone can kind of remind themselves what happened, what happened last week. But before that, you're gonna see some instructions at the bottom of your stream right now. I'm just gonna show you a test for the moment. Just so I'm thinking this should work.
Yeah, if you do the test, it'll work.
We'll do follow. So you can see right there.
Wait, where is he though?
Hmm?
Where is he?
In the bottom
Oh, there he goes.
left-hand
I see
corner.
it now.
I see it now.
Yes.
I see someone being struck with a hammer.
Oh, well, that's what
see
happens
that
when
as
someone
well.
follows.
Okay,
But
so
we also-
there was some violence occurring.
Yes, you can also see though that there is a stream boss right
Oh, it
now.
doesn't stay up the whole time though. We should
No.
have it stay up the whole time.
I can fix that later. We'll fix it in post. So, hey, so here's what happens. Every time you folks in the chat either give us bits, you do, if we are going to be running a donation stream, but if you're doing bits, if you follow us or you subscribe, you do damage to the stream boss, which right now is Eat, Drink, Roll. If you deal the lethal blow, you become the new stream boss. So there's a certain amount of, props that you'll get for that. But there's going to be some in-game effects that will happen as well. Two things will happen. You will force me, the Dungeon Master, to expend one of my Dark Inspiration die that you can see under my window right here, which I get every time one of the team members uses one of their ultras. You will force me to use this against my will. I'll have to burn one of them. But the other thing that will happen is you'll refill all of the ultras for the team. So as you can see, Drenmai has 2 left, Thunuk has 1 left, Eno has 2 left, and Hugon has 2 left. Well, Thunuk's been a little liberal with his use of his.
He has used it quite a bit.
He has, but to good effect. So you can actually refill their ultras as well. So it's going to have a 2-pronged effect there, and they can start burning them again, and I can start accumulating more dice. So that is how that will work. So bid away, follow away, subscribe away, all of these things. Anyway, when we last saw our heroes, they were.
I love that you keep using that word. Like hero.
Hugon's like, no.
Really?
heroes.
This is
Yeah.
literary sense. We are the main characters.
This is true in the
The pro-
literary sense.
When we last saw our protagonists,
Better.
Yeah.
more accurate. There we go. More accurate. When we last saw our protagonists, the franchisees of Team Xenagog, they had learned of an impending invasion, an impending attack upon the town of Pinedale that were measures not taken would inevitably lead to Pinedale being scoured off of whatever maps they may exist upon.
And thereby also closing off potential market opportunities.
Market opportunities go away.
And it's
Resources
really
lost.
sunk costs are not recouped.
Information structures
It's
crippled.
it's not ideal. It really is.
So they started taking the various precautions and various started building up defenses in the town. This included inventing a brand new weapon.
Credit to Eno.
Credit to Eno, that has been named the Seamstress.
Credit to
Basically,
Omen.
and credit to Omen. Basically, a repeating crossbow on a rotating plinth with a shield, and just crank operated and to start loading, and it launches 3-foot-long crossbow bolts.
I think those are technically called ballista.
Ballistae or scorpions, depending on what part of Rome and what time you want to talk to.
But we're gonna call them seamstresses.
I don't care what you call them. That's fine.
Just make sure you call me. Yeah. So we have those have been built. Giant trench under the direction of Hugon has been built, serpentining from the bridge up from the river to the town. That's going to funnel all the enemies into a more narrow space. Palisades are being built. Towers are being constructed. Thunuk and Drenmai wandered off into the woods, not just because they wanted to. Not just because it was a nice day, although it was a very nice day, a pleasant day for a walk, but to do 2 different things. One, Thunuk was using his power of plant growth, right? Is that what it was? It was plant growth?
Yes. it
The
was plant
ritual
growth.
version of it.
And speaking with plants and animals.
Yes. And he was doing this to awaken the forest a bit, to help bolster some of the defenses, create some difficult terrain. Maybe things haphazardly fall from branches, And Drenmai, who previously was a plant, had discovered that there were some weird strings that she named, was it sky octopi?
Yep, Sky Octopi.
Sky octopi. Strings coming down from the sky, and they followed it to its source, and it looks like the source of that was Hugon Valander and the Dragonborn who stole...
Marcus Valander.
I'm
Excuse
sorry,
me.
it was Marcus Valander.
I'm a bastard, but please.
Marcus Valander. It was a Valander.
It was a Valander,
I
or
named
whatever's wearing his corpse.
And the Dragonborn, the bemasked Dragonborn that stole Drenmai's lamp. They made their way back. Eno also was able to procure 2 buckets of spider venom,
Which was a boon.
to be used for various and sundry purposes. Hoping that the soldiers don't get into it themselves.
They
Little,
better fucking not.
get a little
Going to
something.
harm them a lot, if that's the case. There's going to be a lot of harm.
Nah, it's cool, man.
No, it isn't. No.
Harm is some part of the existence of humans.
I'm going to start
man.
pulling out your teeth.
Didn't need them. I'll just drink everything, man.
Okay, cool. Well, now you're going to die.
Yeah. We're all gonna die, man.
Wow.
So...
You keep digging this hole for yourself, fictional hippie. Pretty great.
So I procured poison, and when we last really left the episode here, not Laura Lissa, Tadell Swift, thank you, Tadell Swift, had gone through the portal. Everyone had gotten a long rest because Thunuk was very tired. Eno was very tired. He had a big day.
Sleepy boys.
Sleepy boys.
I get a long rest?
You did get a long. Well, yeah, because you were napping. I think everyone got a long rest.
You slept in a backpack
Yes.
for a number of hours.
No. She was no. I'm sorry. Drenmai went to her shop.
Yeah, I
and
was making
fabricated-
bombs.
You made hand grenades.
Made
or
hand grenades.
also credit to Eno, Dren grenades.
No, I said grenades.
Grenades.
Oh, grenades.
Grenades. Made
Even
the
worse.
grenades. With fear effects and shrapnel and all sorts of bad things. She had constructed them. Thunuk had opened up the gateway that they have in their headquarters, and had sent Tadell Swift through to try to retrieve Laura Lissa and Kohan Fiedlerson, hoping that they might be able to provide a little extra oomph. And at this point, the evacuation has begun. The folks who have not elected to stay behind have started. The organization has started. They're starting to file through the Silvered Harrier down the spiral staircase that goes down into the headquarters below the Silvered Harrier. Into
It is somehow worse than the DMV.
It's just interminable.
Stephen is there, like,
Stephen's
sign
there,
this liability
check-
form. Sign this liability
Exactly,
form.
yeah.
Sign this liability form. Sign this liability
Make
form.
sure, just make sure. I understand if anything happens in the course of going through this portal, we are not.
Cannot be held liable.
We're only providing the service. You voluntarily go through this portal, whatever.
You will be charged at a later date.
Being sent to the Shadow Monastery. So they've started the line. The queue has begun. It is basically Crowley's version of hell, where all it is just one giant line, and when you get to the front actually becomes the back of the line again. You just keep on going.
It's amazing.
So, what is it that our protagonists would like to do? Oh, we forgot that Hugon had to cut a bug out of his arm.
Not just a bug, like some Cronenberg shit had been deposited in his arm back in the Shadowfell, and had gestated there, and then erupted in some sort of profane pupil stage, and it was awful. And then you made me deal 28 points of damage to myself over the course of
In
that.
its defense, it didn't erupt so much as it was removed by you. It was content with just eating you from the inside out.
This is true. This is true. Maybe I'm taking a little bit of poetic license.
It had made itself a cozy little home there. So,
Yes, and it's been removed.
It has been
It
removed,
has been removed.
cut into several pieces, and put into a jar.
It was sung at, it was whispered at in a very rude manner. It had feelings of self-loathing. You know, it had a bad, very
It
short
feels
life.
a certain kind of way about itself.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is where we currently find ourselves on this Sunday afternoon / evening where we play Dungeons and Dragons. Hey, it's been a great show, folks. We'll see you next week.
No.
No.
You will continue.
We will continue.
Deuces.
You will continue.
We're not done yet. We're just getting into it. So, yeah, how would you guys like to proceed? So you've sent your messages. Your little messenger protege mentee has gone. Thunic is awake. Ish.
I'd like
Kinda.
to picture myself kind of pass out over like a workbench or something.
Sleeping on a hand grenade.
Wait, was he
Yeah.
awakened to let them through?
Yes.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yes.
Yeah, we gave you a long rest, and it's like it's time to live your private hell at the DMV.
I think it was Eno that it woke him up, if I remember correctly. Who woke him up? I forget. Someone.
I don't remember waking him up.
It wasn't Hugon because it would have been a lot meaner.
I think Stephen was sent.
And I'm pretty sure it was Stephen because that's Stephen's job to be a functionary, and that is a functionary duty.
It might have been Stephen. So for now, we'll say it is Stephen. Stephen did these things. So, what is it? Again, what is it? We have probably, by your reckoning, it's about 3 a.m. You figure you probably have about 12 hours, maybe 15 hours before shit really starts to get serious.
All right, well, now that we've had a nice sleep, Hugon would like to very much see the progress that has been made, and he's going to hope that it's good, because otherwise they're all going to die.
So,
Wait, what time of the day is this?
3-ish in the morning.
Okay.
So when you leave, you can see that the town is still lit, and now you can, and there's the sounds of industry.
Mm-hmm. Good.
You glance up towards the mine, and you can see they've actually put like some of their mining carts, like they've stacked them kind of in front to kind of close it off.
Barricade?
Yeah, barricade. Not like high, but just to make it clear that the mine temporarily is closed.
Don't go in there.
Yeah, they've pulled everyone out. They've pulled everyone out to do all this work here. Okay, I gotta burn one of my die here. Artificer Magnum is the new stream boss. All right.
Not Magnum. Make them.
Make him. Oh, I thought it was Magnum. I'm wrong. Hang on, I gotta find my little. Where am I?
Wow, that knocked the stream boss out pretty quick.
It did. Here we go.
One bit killed the stream boss?
Well, he also followed us.
Oh!
So, all right. So the first thing is I'm gonna burn one of these die here.
What horrible thing is going to happen?
It doesn't necessarily have to be horrible. I think it's just going to be more like tipping a cauldron situation here. So, another thing I got to do is I got to refill all your guys' stuff here. Hang on, I'm going to have to find a faster way to do this.
This means I'm nice and full up for our midnight sabotage.
Oh, yes, because
Nothing's
you
wrong.
guys have things planned.
I still haven't.
Yeah?
I don't think I gave that my blessing.
No, you guys had a plan.
You did?
Did we?
Yeah, you guys.
That's right,
Yeah.
because we
You
were
did?
talking about Dimension Door and invisibility.
Yeah.
Yes.
I volunteered to sacrifice myself for the greater good.
He volunteered
Good.
as tribute.
Yeah.
Hugon, as you work your way down to the river, you're checking out all the work. You can see there's torches lit everywhere, lighting up, giving you little spots of light in the middle, in possibly the darkest form of the night.
Advanced darkness.
It is an advanced darkness. It's studied hard to get to this level. But you
That's
see
Dr. Darkness.
the workers are toiling away, still trying to dig this ditch because it's a big ditch that they're
Oh,
trying
yeah,
to build.
yeah.
Here. It looks like the towers. They've slowed down the construction on the towers because working on them at night is probably not the smartest of ideas. But as you get closer to the river, you seem to see that the river seems to be more swollen than usual.
Interesting. Like how much?
It is closer to what you remember it being in the spring when the spring floods first started. First started when the spring floods first started flowing, and you see it looks like and you hear like it sounds like splashing in white caps, like almost like rapids are forming. But when you get to the river, you see that there is like a bevy of beavers and river otters swimming around like underneath the bridge, and it's almost as far as you can see. Like you can see it, they're swimming around. You can see the beavers are actually like starting to put like sticks, and they're building like little I don't know the correct term, when you have like the spikes facing out away from the walls.
Oh.
Spikes? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Spikes.
They're basically, you can see they've chewed points into the ends of these logs. And they're
Hugon is like, what the shit?
and they're laying them against the side of the riverbank, facing away. So anybody that's approaching from the opposite side of the bank that's trying to come towards Pinedale, you're seeing like there's like these wall of like spiked, like pointy logs and sticks.
Someone did summon a hive of beavers. I'm sure
And one-
that's the correct
And
term.
one of the
I'm
otters,
sure.
the one river otter, a bigger fellow, comes like
the king otter?
comes like looping up onto land and starts chittering already, and he's like trying to he's like gesturing.
Does he have a little construction hat on? The hard hat.
Like
A
mud and
construction hat,
twigs.
a monster, and a cigarette. I don't speak otter. Also, he like pinches himself to see if he's awake. Okay, I see what you're doing. You're doing good work, but like, are you here for Thunuk? Why am I talking to a fucking otter? What the fuck is wrong with me?
But you say that, and he goes,
Keep up the good work. This is really hard to communicate. I don't know what you want from me, and clearly you're siege engineers of some sort.
and he he stands up on his hind feet, and he starts doing like this lumbering walk, trying to like he's like going like this. He's like holding his hand over his head, and lumbering walk. And he comes over and he like hugs your leg, and he's like trying to like gesture, like, doing his whole little thing.
There's like a moment of like, I'm going to be violent to this otter if it doesn't let go of me. And
you see all these glowing eyes perk up from the
yeah, I
riverbank.
know. And I'm like, there's a lot of them, and they seem to be animated by a strange force. Do you need help carrying something? Is that what it is? Okay. Do you need help lifting something? Okay. Then you need to use better pantomime, because that was ass.
And it like kicks some dirt at you, and it's bounds back into the water, back to work.
What do you want from me? Do better.
So
And like he like hollers at one of the construction workers and says, "Go find Thunuk."
well, then we'll move over to Thunuk then. Thunuk, you're sitting there at the gate. Yeah, well, let me find out. So we know Drenna's in her shop. We know Thunuk is at the gate. Where are you?
I'm probably rehearsing.
Yeah.
So I'm like pacing to see how far, so I can picture in my mind how far 500 feet is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh.
and- yeah, so like I can go, okay, 500 feet is about from here to here, and then while I'm doing that, I'm like playing my lute,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm there's a song that I've been practicing ever since we were in the Shadowfell.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we were in the Shadowfell, I started playing this song, and so I've been practicing that song on and off. And that's the song I'm playing. I'm just kind of.
Mhm.
It's not that song. It's not the song.
Not the
It's different. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
So I'm like playing. I'm like practicing that song, and I'm pacing 500 feet, and I'm pacing 500 feet back. And I do that like 5 times,
Mhm.
and then I walk out of my room and kind of try and start finding people because
Okay.
it seems like we should go soon.
Okay, so you're doing that rehearsal stuff. Drenmai is making her things.
Her
I'm going to
grenades
sleep.
on top of the
And
grenades.
then I do a sleep.
If she sleeps on top of the grenades, how would she sleep on it? Like a
Like a
dragon,
dragon hoarding coin.
like a dragon hoarding
Yeah,
coin,
it
or
was
like a
literally mid working on something and then poof.
Sleep. Using one of the
Razi
grenades as a
very
pacifier.
slowly and carefully moves the grenades away.
Oh, he's the responsible one in this relationship.
So he's like very carefully like
rolling them
like
Like a
arm,
scared
like arms
people.
fully extended, like tiptoeing.
as if that will do anything to save you. Holding it way out here.
So Thunuk, you're down working the gate. The people are slowly filing through. Stephen is doing his, check-in stuff. You're not sure what's on the forms. You're not sure what exactly he's checking, but there's something happening here. Counting.
he need to do stuff while they're doing this. So he's basically telling people, mind your step. It's going to be cold, maybe windy, so on and so forth. Like, make sure you don't lose who you're traveling with.
You
Well,
have your rift buddy.
precisely.
Show me your rift buddy.
Hold your family's hands while you're going through. He's saying that to little kids and stuff like that. Basically, just,
like the steward is bringing you onto the flight. Like, step
well,
carefully,
it's
step carefully.
less like that and more like the elementary school teacher on a field trip.
Okay. Everybody hold on to the rope.
Yeah,
Frantically and frenetically herding like little children, which are akin to cats.
yeah.
I want to go over here. No. Well, I'm doing it.
Um,
And someone says that's a scary thing, and he's like, "No, it's not. It's quite nice." And I have some friends on the other side, and I have some friends inside, and blah 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 blah. And of course, he continues the story as they've gone through, as if they're still there.
and then as you're doing all this, one of the workers comes down and taps you on the shoulders, like, Philander wants you outside. Something about an otter.
Huh. Okay. Is it a big otter that can talk to people?
He-
And can it fly, as if swimming through the sky? As if swimming.
He came out of the river. He was a big-ish, bigger than
Okay.
didn't fly,
Mhm.
didn't talk.
So otter, lowercase. Oh, not uppercase. Oh. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Where by the? He's by the river. You said.
Follow me.
Lesser otter.
Well,
Neither greater nor dire. A lesser standard otter.
standard otter.
As they're walking out that way, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. If maybe I misinterpreted this. Casting a spell as a ritual does not eat.
Does
No.
not eat a spell slot.
Good.
not
He's
use a spell
casting speak with animals as a ritual as he's walking out that way.
Okay. So he takes his time. You come on down to the riverside. You see Hugon there still directing. People are asking him questions. There's drawings, like little more like progress updates from everyone.
He finds Hugon and he's like, "Hi, that guy said you had an otter that wanted to
Yeah,
talk?"
are you responsible for this shit? And he gestures to like all the beavers and otters building siege fortifications in the river. It's like, is this you?
I don't know. And he basically shouts at the beavers and the otters like, I forget. Did I ask you guys to do that?
And the otter that Hugon saw comes like bounding back up onto the shore, and comes up right in front of me. He goes, "Finally,
Hi.
hi." You wrote a letter
Yes.
to the big guy downriver.
Yes.
He said we should help. He can't
Oh.
leave right now. He can't leave right now. He said he can't get involved, is what he said.
Oh, it's like against the rules or something?
Yeah, he doesn't really get involved much
Oh.
with anything. But
Shy?
hmm?
Is he shy?
Hmm.
Or is it a rule thing? Might be a rule thing.
Little from column A, little from column B.
Also, is a giant.
I should visit more frequently.
Hard to get around.
So, but he said he's had us. So we're setting this up. We're gonna watch the river for you guys, so that way they don't try coming through a different way. That way they have to come through here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I mean, if you're doing river battle, this is who you want. You want. This is the crew. You want the beavers. You want the otters. We know.
Oh, yeah.
We
Oh, yeah.
understand what's going on here. You know.
guys are the best.
Yeah.
He has no idea what that this is actually the case. Just the fact that they showed up and that they're very helpful. He's like, they're the best, and
Yeah.
he knows what he's talking about because I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
feel
I was like,
like,
I tried telling your friend to go get you, but he couldn't seem quite to understand. But I guess I guess he figured it out. And
Oh, yeah, apparently most people can't talk to the animal kingdom. I don't know why. Or plants. It's very strange.
Well, anyway, here. I also have this for you. He pulls out. He's got like a little pouch, like a little bandolier of like string and twigs,
What?
and he pulls out.
What?
He's a little mini Chewbacca.
This is like a little red wall thing.
And he pulls out this little vial, and he says, "Here, this is for you. You can use this. This is good for like food and stuff."
What is it?
Well, it's like
Giant urine.
flavoring stuff.
It's giant urine.
He opens it and takes a whiff.
Smells a little bit like raspberries and vanilla.
Closes it. Knows exactly what it is.
Stopper. Boop. Mine.
He's like, yeah, he's doing his very best not to do the thank you. I never ever wanted this face, but thank you so much. I will use this
Never.
with love and caring. Thank you so much.
Question for the DM.
Yes.
What is the bridge made out of?
So the bridge itself is made out of lumber, but there's stone footings in the river that the bridge. So they built stone footings in the river.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. And then yeah, it's a very stout lumber bridge.
How long and how high is the bridge from where we are at the base of the river?
So it's high enough where a very small sailed vessel would be able to, very small, like maybe if you've ever seen like a Hobie cat.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So not terribly high, but high
Usually
enough.
a flat bottom boat with a single sail in
Yeah.
the center.
Yeah, some kind of skiff, basically, so that way merchant vessels could transport stuff out to El Boulder, if things were
Awesome.
working properly. And it's this part of the river is pretty wide. I mean, you would I mean, there's no jumping over it. Swimming over it would be rather difficult.
Greater
Just
than 60 feet.
Yeah, I'd say it's greater than 60 feet. This is a pretty good bridge. And when you look at the way the water's flowing, this is in addition to all of the beavers and otters moving around.
All
them,
the stuff in the river now. Yeah.
but the river is flowing faster. It looks like it is more swollen. So
Got
you're
some
not sure.
Elrond shit going on
You're
here.
not sure if like the beavers have done some engineering at some point, either before or down, either upriver or downriver, or what. But you do think that this would be really difficult for someone to swim over now.
So at like a point where Thunix seems like he's not talking anymore, Hugon will like lean in and be like, "So what's going on?"
Hugon would remember his name. I cannot. And so I gotta look at my notes. I never wrote his name down. Crutch.
I have it somewhere. Hang on, let me look at my.
Wasn't it like Tharaval or something like that? I don't know.
I'm gonna go back to my
That's
episode.
from like The Rescuers or something, right? Oh.
Season 1.
Could be.
Going back to season 1 here.
Bernard.
I will roll with that.
No, it's not that. It's buried somewhere.
Oh, yeah,
so
Bernard's
from,
the rescuer.
From a year ago.
Let's just do
Insert giant's name.
word art.
So I sent a letter to a friend who is in charge of the river crossing.
Right, the guy with the gong, the giant. Yeah,
Yeah,
came out of
he,
the water.
he can't come. He's not allowed to.
Okay.
So he asked everyone else to help out.
Oh.
So they're going to make sure that nobody can cross, and if they try to cross, they're going to give them a bad time.
I appreciate that. Can you tell them that I appreciate that?
I can't do that. And he turns back to the audience like he's really appreciated. He's technically in charge of like the battle that's coming and stuff. So he's really appreciative.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna get back to work. We gotta.
Okay.
Ask them if they can have like a team or two of beavers on standby to collapse the bridge.
Okay. Sure. So he's wondering.
Just in case.
He's wondering if this just in case is it possible to have like a team or two of beavers on hand in case the bridge needs collapsing
Oh.
because they can chew through it and stuff.
Oh, you want us to wait on that?
Yes.
Okay.
'Cause we might have to go across.
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah. We could do that. We could do that. Just have him like yell something so we know. I mean, just we got to know when. We got to know what the signal is. We got to understand what the signal's going to be.
They're going to need a signal.
Okay. Shit.
Well, you just can yell whatever.
Well, okay, but
They'll do it. They'll do it.
what if we can't be near the river? We need like a visual signal, like something thrown into the sky. So Dren or Eno would need to be. Look for an incredibly bright purple tree in the sky at some point. I don't know. It's the best that I can do.
Okay. That's a good signal.
And that tree will be the signal to collapse the bridge.
Okay. He passes that along.
Okay, and it's okay. Got it. Big purple tree. Real quick question.
Yes.
What's purple?
Oh, that's a good point. I forget sometimes that colors don't translate well.
So I mean, like, if we see a tree in the sky, is that fine, or is it got to be like if it's a green tree, it's one thing, but if it's the purple tree, because I could see this being a problem.
Has to be the purple tree, and Thunix starts like digging around in his clothes because his clothes are mostly scrap bits and like, where's purple? Where's purple? Where's purple? And until he finds like a piece of purple and he's like, this is purple. And he points at it.
Well, in that case, everything's purple.
Should I pick a different color? There seems to be some sort of disagreement happening here.
Well, I think here's a difficulty. I forgot otters and beavers and some other animals of that relative group can't see colors. Or if they do, they see them completely different from us.
I see.
What
is the brightest color that he can think of?
Ooh, this might be slightly different. What? Okay, so he goes back. So when there are colors, which ones do you see here? Like what colors do you see on my clothes? What is the brightest one there?
There's the light gray. There's the dark gray.
Okay.
There's the brighter gray.
Okay. Gray and gray. Okay. And Hugon is seeing this otter like pointing at completely different colors on his clothes. And he's like, gray, gray, more gray. Okay. How
Okay.
about this? Can we have?
Stop. Just hold on, Thurman.
Okay.
It doesn't have to. If he can't see color, then the color is meaningless. A tree in the sky will be sufficient, I think.
Okay. It'll be a
That's
tree in the
not
sky.
going to be very common. And it'll sparkle or flash or something.
It'll be a very fancy tree in the sky.
Okay. We'll look for the tree in the sky.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry for the hassle.
No problem, but we should get back to work.
Okay.
All right. All right. So, Otter back in the water. You can see they're all getting back to work and splashing around. At this
What are the
point,
otters actually doing? Are they just moving stuff around, or are they just being like cavorting and playing like otters do? Is that their work?
Oh, no,
Cavort,
they're-
play.
they're helping to raft. You can see they're helping
I
raft some
see,
of the
I see.
things down there because they're very good at that. They build like those kelp, like platforms. You've seen that?
No, I know what you're talking about.
They're
Sea
very
otters, yeah.
industrious. Otters are, and they could do cute little human things with their hands. They're helping, like you're using rocks to help pound things into the sand. Just. All right, so you guys are doing this. Eno, you start wandering around. You eventually come upon Hugon and Thilnik having a conversation with an otter. Looks like the conversation wraps up.
Are we doing this?
Oh yeah. I at least want to hurt some gnolls before they show up. Absolutely.
Okay.
Also, I've prearranged a signal with the river creatures here. Can you make an illusory tree?
I could make a small tree, probably.
Okay. It doesn't
But-
have to be enormous. It just has to like be a tree and like flash and stuff
Flash.
In the sky.
in the sky.
In the
Very important.
sky.
Very important that it in the
I
sky.
I could climb a tree and do it, I guess.
Right, but if we got you to an elevated position, you could pull that off.
Probably.
Okay, cool. Problem solved. We'll cross
Okay.
the bridge when it comes to that.
Oh, we shouldn't be on the bridge when it comes to that, though.
It's an expression, though. Nick.
Oh,
What's gonna happen with the tree?
It's gonna cue the beavers to collapse the bridge. It's a last resort kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Where's Drenmai?
I have no idea, and I'm actually kind of worried about that because
Where's
making
Drenmai?
explosives.
I push the button and I say, "Where's Drenmai?" And then my armor comes on because I hit the wrong button.
Because it's the wrong button.
And I go, "Oh, I meant to do that." And then I hit the other button and I say, "Where's Drenmai?"
Blah, blah, blah.
Ah!
Why are you yelling?
Oh,
It wasn't that he was yelling. It was that she had the thing right here under her
Oh.
ear.
So then I hold it farther away and I go, "Oh, sorry. Are you ready? Oh, over.
I hear you.
Are you ready?"
Oh my God, you're so loud.
is there like a feedback thing because Hugo
Are
and I
you
are standing there?
Yeah, up here. Up here, it's all low for the
Are you ready?
Dren, Mike, can you hear me? I want to
Where are you?
At the bridge. There's the beavers.
What?
There's otters and beavers here. stuff.
Why?
They're building stuff.
Hmm. Okay, I'll be there in a minute.
Okay.
I'll pack up my, probably not as careful as I should be. I'm gonna
Scoop
put him
them
like
into a bag.
scoop him into a bag.
Clack, 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 clack.
You see Rozzy kind of pacing back and forth on the tabletop, like, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
You drop one and then it bounces a few times and then rolls away.
Rozzy quickly grabs it. He's like diving.
Yeah.
Like,
So
Uh,
no!
and he'll probably be a little bit more panicked, perched up on the shoulder. Like, okay, let's go. Huck it over the shoulder. And sadly, it's the one that he's sitting on, so he kind of flutters off and goes to the other shoulder.
But it's not even like you're gentle. It's like you do it and you hear them all clank together.
Yeah, clang, clang, and you know, something blows up on my back, whatever.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Would be the first time. At least I got this new shield. And then I'll wander over to the bridge.
So you've got your shield, you got your mean lock shield, your harvested shield,
Mm-hmm.
your grenades.
Gotta have all the grenades.
You have your staff
Mhm.
with no lantern.
With no lantern.
No lantern. Goggles ready to go.
Oh yeah, those probably like never detach. It's almost a permanent
Now, I
fixture.
know we've discussed it before, but it's been a while. First of all, what does Drenmai's armor look like? And two, how does it deploy?
I don't think we ever gave her armor. It was literally just
I don't think we did either.
she just had leather.
Just leather?
Yeah,
Okay.
like normal almost wear. So
I think
I
he
don't-
described it as basically her armor is also her work outfit, basically.
yeah, it's like if you ever see blacksmiths
Mm-hmm.
and
So
they
the
kind of
long,
wear tough
heavy
and leather.
gloves.
Yeah, and that's just kind of like her normal state, short of like, oh, I'm not actually working on something, so I might take like the gloves off. But
So okay, so if we were to make it that she's attuned her work clothes, like the goggles, the heavy leather apron with all the pockets and everything, the overalls, the coveralls, the gloves, the whatever the Ferunian equivalent of steel-toed boots, because you know she
OSHA
has
approved.
that. Yeah.
Oh,
OSHA.
yeah.
This is like this is all good. All of that. What would if she, let's say she attuned it, because this is a lot easier than putting all this shit on in the morning, right? This
Yeah.
is just, I don't know, I could hit a button. What would the, if we're gonna animate this up here, so we know that Hugon's deploys like almost like Tony Stark's nanobots when the Iron Man armor gets deployed, right? We know that Eno's kind of shimmers into place.
mm-hmm. I'd like to think that mine would almost be mechanical, like gears, like working and putting into place kind of thing, and then
Spot welding.
So like the
Yeah,
original
they-
Iron Man armor going on. Like
kind of
the Mark II armor, where it's like it's coming on and there's like it's like the bolts are turning as like he's like this and it comes on and then it like screws into place and
yeah. And since mine's more, because I at some point I probably should have like better armor, but I'm just like, I've always had leather, so
it works.
things kind of like the places that it ties, things just kind of weave in and tie, but it like materializing, it would almost be like mechanical gear kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then for some reason there's always grease everywhere.
He done. Just,
Just bucket, and motor oil. Yeah.
it becomes you
You're
can't
like-
do that on television. Just
And it's
slime.
Kobe the bucket.
Yeah, you're just
Just-
like, well, you know, things never get cleaned necessarily for me, so I just imagine that when it materializes and dematerializes, the grime kind of goes with it.
Which is actually adding to the AC. You know, all the grime kind of builds up this protective
Exactly.
layer.
My leather probably started off as brown, but it's just kind of gone to that weird,
Listen,
funky black. Years.
Dirty old grease can become quite an armored substance. If you've ever tried to scrape
yeah.
old grease off of anything in a professional kitchen, it's
Exactly.
not happening. It's bonded.
Exactly. And I'm beyond like it be normal grease. I'm not flammable anymore. It's gone past that like nice flame point, and it's just something else.
Fire is repelled by it.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
ugh. It's
no.
like it's not like oh I can't burn you. It's like oh, ew. I don't want to.
Yeah,
May
no,
the fire is clean. Ew, no.
No.
Mm. No, you can't cleanse this. No. No.
No.
Okay, and well, since we're on the subject, we know that Thunuk's armor is basically stuff that he's found. Doesn't always fit right. It's kind of like this sort of like, you know.
Well, it's less as stuff that he's found as much as and he's wearing because it's there. It's much as bits that he's found that he's assembled clothing out of.
Mhm.
If more for the fact that it's so like his shirts and stuff are so random, you might think that he's actually a 10-foot tall jester.
Mhm. Just
He's
patch
all
work.
patchwork and motley and what have you.
Yeah, but it's not like colorful and fun. It's just like he's Patrick and Motley. It's a very dour gesture.
A grumpster.
A grumpster. And his armor is like basically every bit of chainmail he's ever found over his life, like linked together, crimped together.
And so what does the deployment look like? So for the folks who might not have heard of this before, Team Xenagog has these gauntlets that have 3 stones in them. When they hit the 1 stone, it's basically their walkie-talkie. They're able to talk to each other. And sometimes it's a one-on-one conversation. Sometimes it's widely broadcast. I'm treating it like Star Trek The Next Generation rules, where you're never really quite sure how come they were able to have those one-on-one conversations just by saying the name. It was a whole... There's something happening that makes it work. The other one, the second gem or stone in their gauntlet, deploys their armor. It keeps their armor and their weapons in like a little subspace, their own personal little subspace pocket, little pocket dimension they can instantly deploy. And then the third one actually gives them a 1d4 health bonus, like in the midst of battle if they need to quick get a little pick-me-up. So in Philnick's case, when he deploys the armor, what would the deployment look like? How does this manifest?
Wow. Okay. I think it would manifest. It sort of blooms on him, like bits and pieces. Because they're bits and pieces, they will bloom like various things, and then decay. The blooms will decay away, and in their place will remain the armor that he would normally be wearing.
Oh, cool. So like vines and everything just sort of bloom and everything, and then as they wilt and fall, it's like the chain links are left in their place.
Yeah. So like random bits of like red flowers or patchy ivy, things like that. Just anything in nature that would have a similar color. You start seeing these plants as if they're growing out of his clothing, and then.
Excellent. Oh, this is fun. So, so we got Dren makes her way down to the river. You've got the party in one place for the first time in a few weeks. So everyone's armored up. What are we doing here? Are we?
Well, Dren and Finnick are the only people. Oh wait, no. The Potato Scouts.
Do we even know where they are?
They're supposed to be in town.
That's a critical point.
Are we planning on leaving? We're all talking.
No, we're not leaving the Potato Scouts here in town. There's going to be a war here.
No. My question was, are we? So we're talking out of character right now. Are we planning on leaving town ourselves for a moment? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, we're gonna go kill a whole bunch of gnolls.
That's what I thought.
And then come back.
Okay.
Hopefully, come back. Although we did, we're not traveling into the woods. We're going to use a waypoint. There's a crossing of the ley lines minutes away rather than hours from this camp. I remember I found it on the map. Brian, do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
okay,
I remember
okay,
that.
good, because you had that look on your face. Like, I think this is some horseshit, and I was like,
no.
damn it.
No. You'll.
Okay, so we can
Since
plug in.
wait a minute. Since when has "this is horseshit" stopped you guys from trying anything?
Well, I mean, precedent can be set.
It's too late for that.
So we're going to use that waypoint and then travel to the camp. Problem is you need to key the door, but we can't do it until all the civilians are gone.
Oh. Okay. And this is all in character, this bit right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we need to probably hurry this along a little bit for them. They need to go a little bit faster. So we should go back to the Harrier. The fortifications look good. We've got the pre-range signals and everything like that, so should be all right.
Okay.
Imagine at that point, that's when you hear like clank, clank, clank start to walk up. basket full of grenades.
All you see is her shield. She's got this big like gunny sack, bulging with these. You don't know what's in there.
Spheres of some sort.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of orbs.
Mysterious spheres.
Mysterious.
Pretty much. I'll look at Hugon and be like, beavers?
Unimportant.
They're friends.
Okay.
He said,
I'm glad you've made new friends, Hugon.
I didn't.
Where am I throwing these?
Oh,
Not here.
We're gonna go back to the Silvered Harrier to make sure that the townsfolk get through the portal, okay? And then we're gonna use the portal to get close to the camp, and then hopefully get a whole lot of gnolls killed.
And why did I have to come here? I could have just gone to the Harrier.
Shut up. You're awake, and now you're here, and it's good. So
Sorry, Dren. I thought we were leaving from here.
It's
my fault.
okay. I blame Hugon. Okay,
Wake
let's go.
She hasn't,
Clang.
she hasn't had her clang back up to the silver. Well, she hasn't had her coffee yet, so just.
No.
I'm really not feeling a single bit,
Coffee.
single shred of pity at all. I roll a
Can't
will
you
save against
coffee?
pity, and I have advantage.
All right, so you guys make your way back up to the Silvered Harrier. Work continues. You see the line is starting to dwindle as you get there, because it's not like a thing of where only one person can go through the gateway at a time. It's pretty much you just keep walking. So as you go, you see that the line is starting to dwindle. Stephen indicates that it might be another like 10 minutes to get the rest of the people through, make sure all the forms are signed, all the, hold harmless agreements, the release from liability agreement.
All right.
The signing over your stuff should something bad happen to you agreement.
Hugon grabs a stack of these and starts going down the line and passing them out, saying, "Fill this out, fill this out, fill this out, fill this out, fill this out."
And you see Stephen starting to get upset because you're messing up his system. No, sir, no. Oh.
Stephen, speed
I had a
is
system.
key.
I had a system in place. What are you doing?
Speed
God.
is key, and we need to keep this flow moving. So
yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
good. That's what I want to hear.
See, internally, Stephen is actually like Muppet hands in the air, flaking.
Ah!
My system!
My carefully laid system.
Every-
that was neat, but not fast.
Every now and again, there's like the faint twitching of an eyelid. Just something's not right.
Part of his brain dies.
I don't know if he's upset or having a stroke. I don't know.
Probably both.
So he's able to finally.
Porque
Nope,
no los dos?
rest of everything else is done. Everyone makes their way through. The last of the townsfolk make their way through.
Thunuk is actually going to make the agreed upon sound of summoning a potato scout, just to see what's going to happen.
So right by the gate.
Yes, right by the gate.
One rummages up from your backpack.
That's what I figured. Okay, now you have to go through. And is everyone else through? You all have to go through.
Oh. Let me go get him.
Okay.
Goes
Now,
up.
you can look at it like this. You're going to go camping somewhere you've never been before. It's going to be fun. It's going to be neat and interesting.
There's going to be new environments for you to hide in.
Oh, yeah.
New adults for you to piss off and scare.
Well, don't do that, but surprise them. It'll be fun.
Okay, and scampers up the steps. And like less than a minute later, like all of the potato scouts, well, not all of them. One of them comes from like from right underneath Hugon's foot. He thought he was standing next to like something and just comes
And
right,
like, what the hell?
like a stone comes up and he comes up from under the stone and like
Freaking trapdoor spider.
comes out from there.
Hugon like looks down in there to see if there are any more. He like rummages down in there.
No,
trying to
nothing there.
Bastard.
I'm playing the Potato Scout themed song on my lute. I'm just making up a song for
Well,
the
there
Potato
should be
Scouts.
a Potato Scout song. There
Yeah.
should be. There is. That's what
I'm
we do.
working on it.
It's at the
I'm working
meetings,
on it.
right?
Yeah.
And they're coming around from like again, like one almost like looks like they come out of the woodwork, like literally comes out. You can see like his gunny sack is just covered with like his potato sack is just like covered with like bark. So one was a chair, comes out of there. You might have sat on him at one point. You're not sure. Just comes up and so finally all the potato scouts scamper through the portal.
Have fun storming the monastery.
Head pops back out. We will. And
That confirms sound goes through there.
in this case, it did.
We're not gonna get into the physics of it. Just roll. Just
Don't
roll.
bother.
with it.
Don't bother me with your
Roll
physics.
with it. So, is there a way like we can roll like a skill check to get this crowd of people the hell out of here?
Oh no, everyone's through now. Everyone's.
Oh, good,
yeah,
good,
You
good.
got everyone through. Yeah.
So Stephen's
Stephen's got everyone through.
is Stephen going through?
No, Stephen will be staying.
Okay, good, because I was gonna ask him to stay.
No. His place is with the franchise. He understands that. He is not a coward. So
Well,
far.
it has nothing to do with cowardice and more to do with like, you know, in the eventuality of our death, you have to kind of manage things, destroy
Mhm.
sensitive documents,
Yeah,
disassemble
listen.
fuck.
If things go bad, you gotta sometimes. You gotta burn the place, right?
Essentially.
Yeah.
There's trade secrets here. Is
Mhm.
what
Oh,
I'm
exactly. You got to protect copyrights.
Yeah.
All sorts of things. Yep. So they're all out. Thunuk, you can like disengage the gate. Winks out because it turns off like one of those old '80s televisions where it's like and there's like a little fade.
It's hilarious because you hit your microphone and you did that, and that's the same sound I remember hearing from TVs.
Just goes. It comes down. Like there's a little point of light in the middle. It just sort of fades and goes away. And boom, gate goes out.
Thunuk commences to align the gate to the other coordinates.
Survival check.
Okay. Ooh, that's 14 plus 4. 18.
18. So you're able to figure out the new coordinates based on where Hugon is able to point out on the map. He's able to dial into that part of the map. Your map, some may say.
Ooh.
That he's able to dial in and show where the crossing of the ley lines is in relevance to the camp, and you're able to sort of you've been looking at the symbology on the gateway, and you've kind of figured out, okay, it looks like it might like be with coordinates of some sort, and so you're able to dial everything in. You put your little stone in that turns on the gate to activate it, and then you guys are able to start making your way through if you so desire to do that.
I so desire to do it. I so desire to also make Dren go first.
Not surprised.
So get in there.
With a bunch of clanky balls.
I don't know what they are, so like, why would I be concerned?
I gotta pause. Scary Crazy Butterknife is going nuts on the Tater Scout song, and it's great.
It's a little disturbing. But at any rate, he will be punished later, I am sure. So okay, Dren's first. Who's next? Just to get an idea of everyone's...
Hugon will go next.
Hugon. Only leaves 2.
Thunuk's taking the back. He's in the back always.
Yeah, I'll step through after Hugon.
And it says a lot about Thunuk. So Thunuk, you're able to go through.
You can see over everyone.
So you did set it to one way for yourself, so that way it would turn off. Because you don't want to just leave I'm assuming you don't want to just leave a 2-way gate open to your headquarters.
No.
Yeah. So
Don't do that. That bad.
If anything, he's probably gonna have Stephen pull out the stone.
Don't do that. We may need to activate this gate on this side to get back. If we pull out the stone, we can't get back.
Good point.
So back through, bink, boom, grab it. You grab your stone.
Click.
So Dren and et al. As you start emerging, it's actually through. It's like almost. It looks like two trees have grown together and like through each other.
Oh, interesting.
Like in a curved formation. These two like ancient oaks, and you can vaguely see. It's almost like the pattern in the bark is what actually is creating the different rune symbols that mirror very similarly to what you see on yours in your headquarters. So you're actually emerging almost like from this. Stop that. You're emerging from like this Eve situation. Where the gates open, you come out and you're out. It's the dead of night. It is dark. It is quiet. You're hearing like far away. You can hear the crickets and the tree frogs and everything. And you all emerge into like this. It's thick forest at this point. Very tall Methuselan trees. I'm not even sure if that's a word, but you get the point.
Methuselan, yeah.
Methuselan trees. Rocks just coated in decades of moss. This is old forest. It looks virtually untrodden. Like
Really?
no one has been here for a very long time. But if everyone were able to give me a survival check, we'd be able to get a bearing on where the encampment is.
That's 10.
14.
14?
18 on the die plus wisdom. I think it's a 20 or 21.
I also got an 18 on the die, so that means 17.
Not good at this survival shit.
Yo.
Not good at it. And what was Thunix?
10, but that sort of makes sense considering his idea of traveling is going that way by foot.
Yeah.
Suddenly arriving somewhere is probably going to completely ruin his bearings.
Yeah, so Thunix, you're completely discombobulated. You're able to like look around and you kind of.
Oh, it was a 21.
There you
Excuse
go.
me. Sorry.
Okay. So you have a vague bearing of where, like, I think the village might be that way.
Sorry.
Okay.
24. Ooh. And then Dren and Hugon, you guys are able to very easily figure out exactly. You get your bearings very quickly because you knew what the map looked like. Dren, you were kind of on the other side of this before, so you guys have a really good idea of exactly where the encampment is, so you could start making your way through. So the question becomes, in what way will you be making your way through?
I think if with my wakey brain or not wakey brain,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be literally point A to point B person.
Just start going at it.
That way.
Clank,
So
clank,
I go
clank, clank,
that way.
clank, 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 clank.
Yeah, I mean, I would try and like maybe try and make myself quiet so I can do a sneak, but
Let us try a sneak.
literally going point A to point B.
Let us
I
do a
cast-
sneak.
As we're in this woods,
Mhm.
before we start off, I cast Pass Without Trace. So we have plus 10 to stealth checks.
Oh. Okay.
Thank goodness.
Plus the stealth. So let's see.
So we should probably all roll stealth, Brian.
Yes, you should probably all roll stealth with a plus 10.
Plus
That's
10.
a 32.
And we can't be tracked by magical means.
Or is it or non-magical means?
Right. That's right.
Yes, non-magical means. Yes. Oh
Roll
no,
1.
Oh Jesus Christ!
One.
an AI one.
Yeah,
That's an 11.
it's an 11.
I rolled a 2, so that's still a 20
A
Yeah.
1 is not a fail on a skill check.
because I
Or
have
not a
plus
critical
8.
fail.
Does the Nook have a 0 to his stealth or anything?
Oh, I'm sorry. No,
It's 7.
that's a 9.
That's what I thought.
So you got a 9 even with the 10.
Even with a 10.
Amazing.
Well,
Truly
I
amazing.
will say that enough of you have gotten an appropriate enough skill, you guys, enough of you were successful in this particular skill set that you're able to kind of assist Thunuk along here, because he's just completely discombobulated, doesn't know where he is.
I'm pointing out like where to step.
He's like tripping over roots, and you're, trying to like help him, and you see that he's just having the most difficult time. Like if he had walked here on his own, no problems whatsoever. But this is a jarring form of travel for our giant capybara boy.
Every time he steps on something and makes any kind of noise, I use thaumaturgy to make it sound like an animal.
Okay.
It passes that trace, so our sounds don't make sounds.
That's not quite. So a veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection. For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet is a plus 10 bonus to Dex stealth checks and can't be tracked except by magical means.
Okay.
It's not a silent spell. I mean, I think
Yeah.
you still make some noise if you make noise.
And somehow
I
I have this idea in my head that when Eno casts this spell, it's going to be, I'm trying to remember the name of the villain. It was from Batman Beyond. And he was like, he had the ability to like manipulate sound, and he could actually manipulate it in a way that he was able to cancel out all of the echoes and sound in the room by like slightly modulating.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's a great episode.
Yeah, he like plays the sound back at a slightly modulated rate and actually cancels out all sound.
I can't remember what happened, what his character name is, but I remember the episode pretty well.
Yes, and he went very deaf.
He did go very deaf, and he was crushed by an enormous tuning fork.
Listen, these things happen. So you guys start making your way. Drenmai's leading the way right back to where the encampment is. You're all moving very stealthily and silently. Every now and again, there's a weird sound of like a chipmunk or a frog coming from the general region of Thunuk's feet. And you eventually work your way and you get up to the top of this ridge, and you can see there's this deep depression about 10-15 feet down, and you can see this is the encampment, and there are still some torches lit. It's not fully lit. I mean, we're talking now it's late night, early morning situation. But you can see, you kind of get the idea of the layout of the camp, and you can see all of like the rudimentary and sometimes profane shelters made by the various gnolls. You can see that some of the lycanthropes are just sort of sleeping wherever they found like some scraps to pull over themselves. You can see there's definitely a stratification. The lycanthropes are definitely like second-class citizens here. They're not held in the same regard. And then in the middle, you see like the war tent that Thunuk and Dren had come across before, where that is where Dren had last seen her lantern.
Do I see the lantern and like?
It is the flaps are closed, so you do not see the lantern.
Oh, it's in a tent.
It is in a tent.
That's intense.
No.
So So I go. So I say, "Hey, Dren, where's your lantern?"
Do I remember like what the tent was?
Yeah. Oh, yes. You have that imprinted in your brain.
Lantern there.
I do, wee woo that way. It's in that one right there. I can see its aura.
Can you really?
No.
How far away is the tent?
From
From our
reckoning,
position.
200-300 feet.
Okay.
501 feet. No, it's two.
N plus 1,
All right.
where N is 500.
Where n is whatever the distance of your dimensional door spell is. No, it's a 200-300 feet, best reckoning.
Okay. So I say, all right, I got this. Right? And then I kind of get down, and I'm gonna roll a stealth check so that I can make sure I'm not trying not
Mhm.
to make too much noise. But then I'm going to cast invisibility, so the pass without trace is going to go away because
Mhm.
it's also a concentration spell.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make a stealth check, but I don't say any of that to you. I just say
Hold still.
don't move, don't make any. I say don't move, don't make any sounds. All right, so I'm gonna roll a stealth check. That's better. Okay, that's gonna be 16.
Okay.
Plus whatever from invisibility.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I'm gonna slowly make my way there. And then you see me like kind of murmur something, and I disappear. So I make my way around and I start moving through the camp. Like, how are there gnolls and stuff around, or a lot of them asleep? Like, are there guards? What am I contending with?
So you, as you enter into the camp, you can see that there are some gnolls patrolling around. So you would try to, you would need to avoid them. Sleeping on the ground, they kind of almost have like these structures built out of tattered. You're not sure if it's hides. Some of it looks suspiciously like human skin, like draped over like these bone structures that they're using as like a rudimentary like lean-to, like kind of a shelter. Well, barely a shelter, I guess would be a good way to put this. Um, uh, some are just sort of passed out wherever. They were. You could see it was almost like they were eating, and then they just sort of fell asleep while they were eating, like half chewed carcasses of whatever it was that they were eating. You don't want to think too much about what it might have been. What you do notice is that even invisible, like the back of your throat just sort of feels like it's closing off, and like the eyes are watering because it is an acrid smell. If you have ever been to the zoo and you've ever been into any like the enclosures, you know that like there's a musk that the cats put off, that animals put off in general. But this is worse because there's zero hygiene. There's like rotting carcasses all over the place. This is like where like you can taste how it smells.
Yeah. As soon as that smell hits, I like lift this cloth up on over my nose, and I like I take like a little like flask of water, right, and I just like wet it,
just to help.
Yeah, just to kind of
absorb.
like dampen the smell. So like I'm imagining that like a couple of drops of water actually hit the ground, and the water probably wouldn't be invisible. So like there's a couple of drops of water hit the ground because I'm kind of like.
So let's see. Nope, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Like as they hit, it's like that Mission Impossible thing, right? Where it's like
like the sweat.
Okay.
Or something.
So, as you sneak into the camp, we're actually going to take this as a good opportunity to go to our break.
Okay.
So we will come back in just a few minutes, and we will be back with some more Dungeons and Dragons. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, we are back with D and or D.
No, well, I suppose it could be and or.
And or. It's most of the time the and is sort of
What
is-
about
is
D
the-
or else D?
Dungeons
If we're gonna
or
get- if we're
else
gonna get in-
dragons?
These Boolean statements.
Because how did the dragon get into the dungeon? The dragon is big, but the dungeon is not. There's
I mean-
questions that we need to address here. But we'll
Truly.
address them at a whole nother time.
And that time will be never.
We are going anyway, we're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons. The game, not necessarily the locale. So where we were, it was Eno sneaking through a rancid camp of gnolls and lycanthropes. I can't think of a better word to describe the smell, the assault on the senses of being this close to this many gnolls and lycanthropes and just bleh as rancid. Awesome band, terrible smell. So,
This camp smells like soured milk.
oh yeah, there's some of that too. Oh, there's absolutely some of that. Milk that's just been there way too long. Sat there in the back of the refrigerator for 2 months past its expiration date.
You're actually describing something that happened to me today.
First
I-
heat stroke and now rancid milk. Like,
No, it wasn't milk.
go,
it was,
what are you doing to yourself?
It was barley tea, where there's a picture of it in the fridge, and
Oh no!
I didn't realize the barley tea had been sitting in there for like a month and a half. It had started fermenting. It smelled fruity. If I'd let it be, it'd probably turn into some nice booze.
I was gonna say, is it like beer now?
Don't. I beg
Uh,
of you not to.
No,
I say let it go. Let's
It's
find
gone.
out. Oh,
it just, I poured myself a glass. It took
Oh, you drank of it?
I drank of it. I sniffed it. And I'm like, this is odd.
I
And
don't
then
know. Like, oh,
I was. The
I'm
decision was
bleeding,
made
but I'm gonna.
on-
It's not bad.
I started weeping blood
I
out
think
of my
my
eyes.
soul
but-
exited my rear end, but yeah, I think I'm gonna keep drinking this.
Jesus. Uh,
So
which is
how
to say-
far?
which is to say, we should be lucky that he's with us today.
Yeah.
So how far
Colonize.
into this camp? I'm sorry. How
Okay.
far in?
Yeah,
I'm
let's
sorry.
get
I'd
back
like to
the-
play.
Look at-
Yeah.
let's
I
go to the
apologize.
dragons.
You are correct. I apologize.
It's all right. So how far into this camp am I right now? Like how?
So we'll say that your first foray got you probably about a couple, we'll say 3 dozen feet. You know, because you're moving slowly. Because
Yeah.
so the one thing is that Knoll camps are not an organized affair. You've seen
Right.
military camps before, and they're very organized. They're in neat rows and columns. At least the good ones are. The ones, for a regimented and well organized militia, you're going to see everything very neatly lined up. The trees are over here. This is over here. This is not Knolls. Knolls are just kind of like wherever. They just basically dumped all their shit, and it was basically, here's where we are. And so you're having to very carefully pick your way around to make sure that you're not you're almost having to get to Ocean's 12, where you're moving around trying not to step on them. You're able to see some of them moving around.
Okay. All right. So I'm meandering around, and as I'm doing that, he's just thinking a prayer to Tymora. Like he doesn't normally. It's not like he does it every day. He maybe does a prayer to Tymora once every few months. There's something he's thinking, Tymora, I need some luck right now.
Timora, you
This is-
fickle bitch.
If I'm gonna get some luck this year, this is the time. And he just keeps going, and he's powering through, and he hasn't eaten for 10, 12 hours. Like
Mhm.
it's been a while, so he's kind of empty stomach, and he's really thankful that I'm just like, I'm really glad I didn't eat anything before I came here. Oh my god. And he's trying to be as quiet as possible. So he makes his way to the tent.
Mm-hmm.
Do I meet any resistance on the way to the tent?
Well, let's do
Am
another.
I able to-
Let's do it now. As you're getting thicker into the camp, the closer you get to the center, the harder it is to pick your way around.
Okay.
There's bones on the ground that you're having to dodge around. it's getting to be even more of a circuitous route that you need to take. So let's do a dexterity check.
Stealth check.
Stealth check would be fine. I'll
right.
accept a stealth check.
I'm gonna give myself bardic inspiration. For this.
Are you now?
Yeah.
Wise.
All right. It's a. God damn, I'm horrible at math. 16 plus 8.
24.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
24.
All right, so you're able to keep on snaking your way around, getting around without stepping on anything, without hitting anything too squishy. There's a couple times where your foot does hit something squishy, and you don't want to look down and know what it is that you just stepped in. It's better. Ignorance is truly bliss. But during the course of this, you said you hadn't eaten in some time, and your stomach releases a loud growl. Here's.
Oh.
Does it sound like a sad beagle?
Maybe more like a sad basset hound.
Okay.
And so and I think to myself, God damn it, Timamura. And I hope that I'm near a werewolf when it happens, so that maybe like I try to get near, like as I hear it, I try to go, is there a werewolf nearby? And like thinking, and I try to get near a werewolf to see if it'll go off.
As you do that, one of the gnolls, like without moving, like the eyes just open. Right? It's like laying on its stomach, kind of like, half like, and all of a sudden just like these golden eyes, these inhuman golden eyes just pop open, and they start looking around, and then the nose starts going, starts sniffing, and so it gets to its feet. Bones are like falling off of it from like little whatever it was eating, chicken bones. You're hoping it's chicken bones, and it gets up and it starts looking around. You can see it goes in the search. Now the rest of you are up on this ridge here, and you can see down into the camp, and you don't really know where Eno is. Because he's invisible.
He's invisible.
But you do see and you see some of the gnolls that are patrolling, and you do see one of the gnolls that's a little bit closer to the tent, all of a sudden like get up and start prowling around. Like it's looking for something.
Just one or several?
Just
I'm
the
sorry.
one.
Nothing. Just let Eno do his job. We don't need to engage just yet.
Okay.
As you turn and Hugon sees Dren like grabbing for one of the grenades on her back.
Nope. No.
He doesn't even know what it is. He's like, no.
No,
Whatever you're
reaching for.
I know this is
No.
bad.
No, we're not
Just for
doing this.
reference, how far away is this guy?
Probably about 150 feet. So, you've probably got about 70-ish feet to go to get to the tent. So yeah, about a what did I say, 150-ish feet.
Yep.
Somewhere along those lines.
Yep.
200, 300.
What's he gonna do?
Oh, I just want to make sure. I'm not going to do anything just yet.
Yes.
He's officially out of range of anything that I could do.
So,
Yeah, and I don't think Eno would have said anything like how exactly what he was thinking of all. I think he would have just said what he said last session was like he can make himself invisible and he can get like he wouldn't have because like so he Eno just powers through, like he's breathing through his cloth.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to avoid that dude, and he's basically. He's not trying to concentrate too much where the guy is, but he's like keeping them. He's trying to keep them in the periphery because he's also trying to concentrate on not stepping on shit and not stepping on somebody or something. So he's just basically he's going a tiny bit slower because he's sort of like.
So let's do another stealth check as you continue to
Alright.
make your way through.
And I'm gonna
Yes.
burn another Bardic Inspiration.
Because
I'm gonna roll like shit again. Yeah, 9. What the fuck is that? Is that a 7? That's a 7. So that's 16. So that's 24 again. Damn.
Okay.
Okay.
So-
Listen.
I'll take it.
All right. So you're able to keep on picking your way through. You're looking at this and you're almost seeing like a path of
Okay.
least resistance. Not an actual path, but a path of where you only have to step in shit a few times
Right.
to make your way around. And the awakened Knoll is still sniffing around, but he doesn't seem to be directly on your trail. He doesn't seem to be following you.
Can I do a religion check?
You can do a religion
All
check.
right.
It's Dungeons and Dragons, my friend. You can do that. You can
that's
be like,
an
I'm going to
8.
have a beer. Can I do a religion check? Sure, why not? God wants you to drink this beer.
That's an 18 total. Do I feel like Timora is with me at all? Like, do I feel any kind of presence?
You feel the warmth of her chancing
Yeah.
embrace.
Do I feel lucky? Am I feeling lucky, punk?
Like a punk.
Yeah.
Evens or odds?
Odds.
You are, in fact, feeling lucky.
Okay, I'm feeling lucky. All right, so do I get to the tent?
You can get to the tent.
I get to the tent. I'm gonna do a sleight of hand check
Okay.
to try to lift the tent flap
Mhm.
just enough to slide through when nobody's watching.
Okay. Then let's see that stealth of that stealth of hand. That sleight of
Stealth of
hand.
hand.
Stealth.
Stealth
Listen.
hands.
Stealth
Stealth
hands.
My hands are gone.
I'm gonna burn another Bardic
Listen.
Inspiration. Fuck it.
Make it so, number one.
All right, that's 16. Oh god damn it. Okay, 17.
17. Well, that's better than a 16.
My die hit my other die as I was rolling.
You're able to do it. You're able to slide
right.
into the tent. So when you come into this tent, it is very, very dimly lit. There's a table in the middle, papers and assorted items on there, paper weights to keep the papers from just disappearing. There's a brazier lit that's almost like burning down low. So it just the outskirts of this tent, which is probably about 20-foot diameter
Okay.
or 20-foot radius, excuse me. So it's a bigger tent, and you can see it like this. So that the edges are cloaked in shadow.
All right.
You can see it's cleaner in here than it is outside. Very austere, though. There's nothing like. There's nothing pompous about it. It is a very utilitarian thing. This tent, table, maybe a couple chairs, and over in the far corner, across from you, you can see sitting in this chair, sleeping. It looks like, is the Dragonborn, with the bemasked Dragonborn,
Okay.
hood drawn, breathing deeply, kind of ever so slightly snoring. And on the arm of his chair is Dren's lantern.
Okay.
And on top of the lantern is his hand. Like he fell asleep with his hand on top of the lantern.
All right. Okay.
And that's
so...
what you see, and that's what you see when you immediately walk
So
into
I
the
see.
tent.
All right. So I'm going to.
Chill.
All right. I'm going to. Does it okay? Perception. Does it look like he's grasping the lantern, or is his hand just on top of it?
Perception
Or can I tell?
check.
Or can
Perception.
okay. Fuck. That's 9. That's not
At this
good.
distance, you really can't tell.
Can't tell.
You'd have to move closer.
All right. I'm still invisible, so I move closer to the lantern,
Mm-hmm.
and I cast prestidigitation.
Mm-hmm.
I put my hand up right next to the lantern.
Okay.
And is there only one? See, there's one brazier and it's low.
Yes.
I cast prestidigitation to snuff the brazier out,
Okay.
and then I take both hands and I put them on the lantern.
Mm-hmm.
And right before I put them on the lantern, do I feel like the lantern's gonna kill me if I touch it? Before I touch, my hands are right here, and then I'm just like,
Well, this is a question I think that Drenmai Gemweaver could possibly answer for us. Drenmai Gemweaver, have you ever booby trapped your lantern? Is this like Blade's
Ever?
sword?
Yes.
Is this like Blade's sword that if you don't hit the button, it like blows your hand off?
Have I ever? Yes. Would it currently be? No. Because I wasn't expecting it to get taken.
well,
But
I
we've
gotta-
established now canonically that it is possible to booby trap this thing.
Yes, it's like basically the nighttime thing. Like, oh, I set it over here, set it up, it's good to go.
I
Go
got
back
an
to sleep.
11 on my Arcana check, so that's probably not gonna.
You,
help me.
as best you can tell, there's no like magical
Alright.
chicanery happening right now.
All right. I touch the lantern
Mm-hmm.
and cast Dimension Door.
I was about to say, do you do the thing like poke it first and then grab?
Yeah.
It's
So-
like that.
Experimental poke. Go.
Yeah, I just grab the lantern and I cast Dimension Door. Dimension Door meta, you teleport yourself from your current location to any other spot within range, which is 500 feet. I arrive exactly the spot desired. It can be a place I can see, one that I can visualize, or one I can describe by stating distance and direction, such as 200 feet downward or whatever.
Right.
I can bring along objects as long as their weight doesn't exceed what I can carry. I can also bring along one willing creature of my size or smaller that is carrying it. The creature must be within 5 feet of you when you cast the spell. So it has to be a willing creature. If I would arrive in a place already occupied by an object or creature, then it's like a lot of damage. So basically, I'm visualizing the spot where I was standing
Mhm.
when I said, "Don't move."
It wasn't me just being nice. It was
Yeah. Like I was standing in a spot and like that's the spot I have in my mind and I'm like and I go Ixnay.
so you grab the lantern. You're able to quick yank it out, and
I don't even yank it. I just grab it.
then where is Dimension Door like happening like below you, where it just
Yeah.
okay.
Just suck it. And then since I'm grabbing the item, I should be able to just
Yes. Okay, so you have this item. As you're doing this, like the Dragonborn's hand comes down and hits. So this is almost happening in slow motion for you. Okay.
And it's dark now.
It's dark, so you're vaguely aware of this hand hitting the arm of the chair, and you almost hear like a, as maybe something's waking up.
Okay.
And as you happen just to glance over like your shoulder as you're doing this, as you're falling down, there's these two inhuman glowing eyes from the other side of the tent. And as you're disappearing into your dimension and into your dimension door, you hear, "That's not yours." And poof, you're through the dimension door, and whoop, pop right back up. Because I
Yeah.
imagine it's going to be kind of like a parallel thing, right?
I was
Where-
thinking like Nightcrawler, like poof poof.
Bamf.
Yes, Bamf. Thank you. Bamf. Excuse me.
So Eno bamfs, it whoop, comes up from the ground like this weird like arcane symbology like appears on the ground and like rotates, and all of a sudden whoop, Eno like elevates out of it carrying Dren's lantern.
I believe this is yours.
Oh, stop!
Oh God, are you making that sound?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Tired people.
Shut up!
You hear some noises from inside the camp.
Oh,
And from the main tent, you hear a ruckus as this cloaked figure emerges from the tent. Now, this is like still 200, 250 feet away, somewhere around there. Comes emerging out, looking around, and behind him, from behind him, this enormous knoll. Like, it's almost head and shoulders taller than this cloaked figure, comes out, matted white-gray fur. The muzzle is just stained red with blood. And he comes out and he's trailing this 3-pronged flail behind him as he comes out. And you can see they're both like looking around right now, scanning the horizon, looking out into the woods.
And they can hear the sound of Eno face palming.
Thwap.
As
And
of
I'm
yet, you don't think that they've found your exact location, but you can see there is some stirring in the camp.
And I'm like, no. And I cast Pass Without Trace again.
Bring out the old pass without trace.
Let's get the fuck out of here right now.
And Hugon's like,
So
I'm like snuggling my lantern.
and he motions to Thunuk, like,
My precious.
Grab.
her up.
As soon as I saw that, dude, you went poof.
Oh, we've missed you.
Oh God, it's in a panic. Panic
Thunuk
invisibility.
saw something that made him panic.
Oh
He went-
no.
So, vroom. So you go to turn to get. They say something to Thunuk. There's no Thunuk.
All right.
oh, he went invisible already.
Oh yeah.
Hugon does that. Thunuk did. Fuck did he go?
For a big man, he moves so quietly. Let's get the hell out of here. Like, I'm content with just the lantern and saving the grenades at this point.
He
Yeah,
doesn't know
so
about the grenade yet.
This is true.
meta.
Meta.
Meta. But
Meta. Let's get
That's
the hell
not
out of here.
bad.
Stealth checks.
I think I would even be okay. Anyways, because I'd just be so happy to have my thing that I'm like, okay, fine, we'll leave.
He wants it.
I
Pretty good.
He's there, Smeagol.
Oh my God.
You're doing this too well, man.
Listen. Listen.
What's taters, precious?
What's Taylor's precious?
Oh God.
Shut the fuck up. Take us to Mordor. That's all you need to know.
The taking the hobbits to Isengard. I got a 33 on my stealth check.
Stealth check.
Uh,
Stealth checks.
picked up Drenmai because he's like, if we're running, we're running, and
Yeah.
he's
29.
the stealth check says this right. Mhm.
Add 10, Thunuk. Or no, add 8.
Hold on. I don't know what the
Does he
rules
have-
are again because I have had to use the rules in this manner. Hold on.
Does he have -2?
Yeah.
It's minus
What
2.
the
to
fuck?
stealth.
He's a big boy.
He's a big chonk.
All right.
Trent's
It
still
just
doing the
says,
math.
it just says I'm invisible.
29.
I'm invisible, so
Yeah.
I have a 16.
You're really invisible now.
But pass without trace, so I have
Yeah.
a 26.
Yeah, you're like super invisible now.
Ultra invisible.
Ultra visible. Ultra invisible. So as you guys turn and start making your way back towards your gate, you start to hear howls and snarls rising from the camp. And you start to hear clawed feet starting to work their way up this embankment that you guys were standing on the top of. You start to hear howls rising from deeper in the camp, and then other howls, and it's sounding like a menagerie of hate behind you.
Well then.
So you guys very quickly start. Let's get a survival check just to make sure you can navigate back to the
Oh, nice.
back to
Let's
the,
see. 24.
I thought 13.
21.
21.
17.
17. So you guys are able to, as a group, you're able to make your way back. The entire time, you're hearing like this group. It almost sounds like it's growing louder as it's scratching and scrabbling and clawing behind you with snarls and curses in some abyssal language, and you finally make your way to the gate. So Thonic, now you need to make your survival check to phone home.
Ouch.
18. You're able to quickly dial in. But it's invisible. Like, you don't even see. Like, you just see like the bing, 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 like Simon Says thing. Like, you just see him lighting them up, and then the portal forms. And you know the event horizon forms in front of you. You're able to dive in. And here's and it's always Thunic, the last one through.
Yes.
Okay. So as you're going to, you're like undialing now. You're trying to like you got to turn it off and everything. So as you go to do that, right as you turn around and you grab the stone to go backwards, get into the gate, you just see in the forest, you just seeing these hateful golden eyes just catching whatever little moonlight. These like almost sometimes yellow, sometimes blue. The way that it catches like the back of the pupil, the actually catches the lens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you just see them all over the woods, and it's just basically nothing but eyes and teeth that you can see as they're moving in towards where you guys previously were. You're still invisible, so you're able to go through.
And like one last middle finger to all of them.
You Star-Lord it. And it winks out the gate winks out behind you, and it's almost as you enter into your headquarters, you can almost hear like the echo of the snarling mob that was just behind you. But the gate is now deactivated. The runes have gone.
Thunic, make sure that they can't come through after us, please.
Thunic effectively disables this thing.
That would be another survival check. We're gonna put these all in
Just temporarily, not permanently.
Yeah.
That was a 1.
You're
Plus
not
4 or 5.
you're not quite sure that you're gonna have to take some time with this because you're not sure that you don't think it's locked at this point.
Stephen
He gets frustrated and just pulls the rock.
just rips it from the ring.
Yank.
So as
It's a
you're
boring
doing
conversation anyway.
that, as you're doing that, you start to see runes start to light up as if someone's trying to dial in. So I would say if you want to disable it, you need to do another.
Can I help him? Can someone help him?
How would you frame your help? If someone wants to assist him, that is perfectly
It's like
fine.
help him pull out the stone, right?
I touch.
Well, the stone's
Thunic.
out, but you're still seeing them dial in. So.
Oh wait, can I see Thunic?
Oh, absolutely. You guys are all in headquarters
Okay.
right now.
Oh, okay, he's not invisible anymore.
Oh, that's right. I don't know. Is he?
Uh,
Oh no, that's okay. He just has to be able to hear me.
Yeah.
So I play like a little song and I say, "We gotta close this gate," and you get a additional 1d8 to your check.
24 total then.
Hey, fucking righteous, man.
Okay, this
That was
time
my
you're able to
last
quick
one.
boom 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 boom, and the all of a sudden the runes that have lit up all of a sudden just go dark, and you've effectively locked the gate.
Nice.
You've effectively locked the gate.
This is good job, Thunic.
Thank you. That was very scary. Do we have to fight them? They seem like a lot. They seem like a lot. Lot.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fight them. They're gonna come here to
Soon.
fight us. Yeah, very soon.
Okay.
Hugon, give me a history check.
That's a. Let me look at my sheet real fast. It's 21.
21. So, from your experience, nothing more than just a gut feeling.
Mm-hmm.
From your experience in your many campaigns,
Mm-hmm.
given the bee's nest that you just stirred up, as a group, not you personally, you, the
Right.
collective you.
Right, collective us. Yeah.
If you were in their position, you would advance your plans for attack.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. That was going to be my assumption.
Just to kind of like, you know, this is what I would do.
Our
in the
game has
past-
been kind of altered. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah. Might want to.
Some variables have
timetable.
changed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drenmai, how do you feel?
I don't care what's going on. I'm
Yeah, I
happy.
How far away is the force from now that
Hours. I mean,
If they were to march directly without any kind of encumbrance whatsoever, you would imagine they can make the river in about 2 hours in daylight.
Ah.
But
Knowles can see in the dark.
yes,
So.
but I'm not. Yeah, at a meta level, Knolls don't have that issue. And I think, doesn't the mask grant you
It does.
dark vision? So you could surmise that, if nothing else, it's possible that the other two masks might have similar abilities.
So Eno's gonna go up to the up to the bar, see if there's anybody there, and just kind of like decompress for about an hour.
Sahir always seems to be working the bar. She never seems to not be at the bar.
Awesome.
You've never seen her sleep. It just seems like whenever you're there, she's just there polishing glasses, wiping down, doing
Cleaning the lines.
barcraft, I guess, would be the.
He gets up there and he's just like that, and then he goes and he just sits down at the
Mhm.
bar. He's just
She brings out the tumbler with the nice heavy bottom. And she says, "It's been that bad already?"
not yet. It's actually been good.
Pulls out. She knows, now I'm guessing that Eno is kind of like a, does she like, does Eno like in terms of alcohol, does he like the browns or the whites? I gotta make sure I emphasize that it's the whiskey that we're talking about here,
Right.
because that could come out of context really wrong. It's
I mean, I think he likes a nice smooth. So whatever's smooth.
smooth.
Yeah.
So she probably has an idea now of some of the things that you like to drink. So she goes and grabs a nice whiskey, aged,
Yeah.
oaky, maybe a little
Yeah.
peaty.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Pours you 2 fingers. Puts the bottle down, slides it over.
I put a few silver on the bar. I put like
Yeah.
5 silver on the bar.
And she takes that, secrets it away.
And I say, here's the next part. And I just I don't drink it all the way. I just take a sip.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, this is not.
Yeah. I take my time with this because I'm going to be sitting there for about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I just sit there for about an hour taking little tiny sips of this whiskey
And she,
and checking my journal.
as she does that, as you're doing that, she actually just pulls out, you don't know where, big old mug, pours this hot brown steaming liquid into it that's just very aromatic, nice coffee, pulls out a jelly donut looking item, puts that right next to it, and she just goes, "Wait for it." Drenmai, you smell coffee and a donut.
It's your coffee. That might be like the only thing right now that might draw me out is like sugar and something caffeinated.
You suddenly like you're realizing like, oh my god, I am tired and I am hungry.
Surprise.
Well, remember when Dren gets involved in a project. So not only was she distracted by the fact that her precious lantern was not there anymore, when she gets involved in a project, it's go until pass out.
Mhm.
And if nobody brings her food, she doesn't eat. So
Yeah, no, I'd wander over. It'd be like the cartoon where you see the like tendrils. I'd be like, oh, floaty.
that's exactly what was going through my head. I go just the tendrils of the smell are just right at the nostrils there, like pulling you along. And you
Yeah.
come down and you have a nice powdered sugar, donut, some kind of jelly or jam or preserves on the inside,
Perfect.
steaming cup of mocha. Not the kind that was pooped out either, like actual coffee.
No, the good one.
So Eno would wait till she was at least 8 or 9 sips of the coffee in, maybe 10, just for good measure.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'd kind of turn, not all the way, but he'd kind of turn with the cup in his hand, with the glass in his hand. He'd say, "So what's in the bag?" He takes another sip.
Like, I'll kind of. Where did I put the bag? Look around. Oh, okay.
I think
Like,
the bag
right
was just
behind.
dragging behind her, like up the steps.
Yeah, and it was just like dropped off to the side, and I like rifle around in there, kind of like, grab one. Okay, here you go. Mm.
So I don't touch it because I know better.
It just clanks on.
It just goes clack, and you're like, "Oh, that could be Satan for all I know." I'm not touching
So,
that.
so I'm gonna do an Arcana check.
Okay.
All right, that's 6, 17, no, 13, 14, 15, 16.
16.
17, 4.
17.
Yeah,
Ah,
17.
Math. Woo!
God damn it.
So we said there was 2 different ones that were manufactured, correct? We had the fear grenades.
Yeah.
And what
we
were the
had-
other? Sparkle
we
fart,
had-
right?
No. We had
Shatter.
Shatter.
and
Shatter. Ah. So
Yeah.
let's see. I think. Oh yeah. So this is a shatter grenade. You're able to pick up you're as you kind of reach out with those arcane senses that you have honed.
Yeah,
The vibration coming off of it, because I'd imagine that's how Eno would kind of interpret things, right? It would be like, at what frequency is this vibrating? And this vibrates on the same frequency. There's resonance with your own shatter spell.
right.
I basically contained thunder inside of it.
It's like when you do those what's it called on the guitar where you called the harmonics, where you're able to get that like doom.
Yeah, that's harmonic.
Yeah, it's the harmonic. Yeah, there's only certain frets you can do it on,
Mhm.
right? That's kind of like when you're tuning, when you go to tune your instrument and you can tune to the other strings by using the harmonics. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I
Yeah,
imagine
okay.
it vibrates a little.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the whole thing that sort of vibrates a little bit, just ever so slightly on the you can see Sahir, the bartender is keeping a safe distance. Like, not purposefully. She would never purposefully take a step away. It just so happens that she has something to do at the far end of the bar, as far away as she could possibly get from whatever that thing is on the bar.
Right. So I go, that's pretty cool. Is it safe to have right here?
Yeah, you can hold it. You can, kind of. It's fine.
So I gently pick it up and I look at it and I go, it's very nice craftsmanship.
Thank you.
Ah.
And and Eno puts it back really slowly and just downs the rest of the whiskey. Just
If he puts it down like next to me, I'll kind of like bat it around like a cat.
oh god.
It's rolling around.
And so I just go back to like my journal and I'm just writing my journal. It's just basically the idea is that I'm taking a short rest. So
Mhm.
I'm just kind of
Chilling out.
Yeah.
Taking a moment. Flimmink and Hugon.
Uh,
The buddy cop movie we never knew we wanted.
I see Hugon basically just taking swigs of like Pepto all day and or
constantly
antacid.
drinking Pepto and whiskey, like mixing the two.
Oh God! Oh Jesus!
I need it all. God save me or kill me. Just do something.
Oh no!
I have a name for that. I would call it pink gut punch.
Pink gut punch.
Yeah.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, because it is.
That sounds awful. Hugon is going immediately to the work crews and being like, "Hey, timetable's been moved up. Like,
to just finish up the work,
just get whatever you're working on, finish it, and be done.
and they
Don't
start.
try to do more. Don't they're coming now.
They are coming.
They are coming. Drums in the deep.
Do a perception check.
They're already here. Oh, damn it!
Guys, we were here the whole time. Is that ripping off
17.
masks? Yeah. In the far distance, you think maybe, just maybe, you can hear the sounds of war drums. Maybe it's thunder. Maybe it's just the sound of the river, the roaring of the river.
Mhm.
But you're like, maybe, just maybe, there's the sound of war drums. So
That's not
everyone starts hurrying along. They're, finishing up the work as best they can. They're starting to move now. All of the arrows that they've been fletching and getting together, they're starting to move them up into the towers and at the various stations where the archers have been appropriately stationed. They're organizing all of the bolts, all of the needles required for the seamstresses. That one's me.
I hear you.
Yeah, and then you can see it. They're like with these heavy
Pins for the seamstress.
with the pins. Yeah, they got the pins, and they're double handed, like with these big gloves that are almost coming up to their shoulders, heavy gloves, like dipping them into the buckets of the venom, like getting them in there and like very carefully making sure they don't get any on them.
Good.
And you can see they've loaded up as many of the magazines as they possibly can. And they're trying to they're setting everything up. They're like oiling the mechanics and the engineers and the artificers are all working like diligently, trying to make the last minute adjustments that they need to make, trying to make sure that these things are going to be working every time, because essentially they're still both prototypes.
Mm-hmm.
These are the first two ever made. They've never been tested in live combat.
They're not battle tested.
No,
they
it's
might
like-
explode.
Yeah. This is like when all those movies, when they see the person running, they grab the prototype, but we're going to use this. It's like, you know that's not going to work the way you want it to work.
Put that back, you idiot.
Yeah.
Prototype means prototype. The only reason we're
So-
doing this is we don't have a choice.
Yes. So, Drenmai, now that you've been fed and watered, now that you've gotten caffeine on board, now that you've gotten the appropriate amount
I've
of sugar,
Yes.
what is Drenmai's preparation? Because I'm sure that Hugon has communicated to everyone that, hey,
Oh yeah.
the timetable is moved.
It's go time tonight.
Yeah.
Have I heard Hugon, or did I just zone him out?
That's up to you.
That would be a
Um,
fate die decision, I think.
That is entirely up to you, and don't expect him to come back and be like, "Hey, just so you know."
Okay. Well, apparently I had enough consciousness to kind of hear him. So, I'll gather the one that I was playing around with, and I'll put it back in the bag, and I'll kind of zip it up, and I'll like wave to the bartender that they took care of me,
Mm-hmm.
and leave some coin on the table. And do I see, is everyone leaving, or?
So the town right now feels very much like a ghost town. It feels very empty because all of the people who stayed, you have all the people, most of the people evacuated. You have some of the people who stayed, or the people who did stay. They're all starting to take up their battle stations wherever they're supposed to be. There's some that are kind of playing support roles, like in the back, and you can see they're like gathering water and getting that, because you got to move water up to the front. They're setting up triage areas to deal with anything that's, any injuries. You can see up on the towers, there's archers that are climbing up in there and starting to and getting ready there.
So our group, where's everyone? Kind of are you guys all leaving, or?
I'm still at the bar next to you, if that's where
Okay.
you are.
Hugon is coordinating a defense.
Through
Sure.
panting at the bar, hoping to eat something because he hasn't eaten anything since
Food me.
yesterday.
Food me too.
So 3 of us are at the bar.
No, me.
Me too.
Me food now.
And so she basically she knows there a Fearbog has needs,
A cauldron of whatever.
and she brings out this salad bowl filled with like this potato leek soup, and I mean this is like one of the it's like the Olive Garden salad bowl that goes in the middle. We're eat drink roll for a reason.
know. It might be a pizza day because I'm being lazy.
Oh.
Pizza day is a good day.
Pizza day.
I'm feeling patty melt.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I'll kind of like shuffle, next to me. I'll be like, okay, we didn't do that before. You got to do the thing. Let's go do the thing, and then I'll like motion Thanuk and his bowl to join.
Mm-hmm.
Like you plus bowl can come.
Has it been like a short rest long enough?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You have
Right.
short rested.
So yeah, I would put my journal away, pick up my bag and everything, and like, okay, where are we going? Out
Out the doors. Wait, is Hugon? So Hugon's
No, Hugon's
gone.
not even in the room.
Yeah, so
Hugon's
you're
out
gone.
with like the towers, and he's getting everything squared away as much as possible.
Well, we kind of know where that is, so I'd probably just be like, we need to go over yonder to
Over by Dren's sledding hill.
see where we need to be. I guess.
I need to see if there's any more of that poison left after they coated the caltrops and stuff.
Yeah.
Who'd you give the poison to?
I've got some arrows I want to coat with it.
Ah. Yeah, there's enough
Well,
for you to
gave
coat.
it to Hugon, so let's go find out from him
All right.
if he used it all.
Yeah, there's enough. There's enough. When you get there, you can see there's still the buckets of poison. They're all dipping everything. The caltrops, again, they got the double-handed. They're very carefully dipping it in, and then sometimes they're just rolling it down the hill. They're just letting the caltrop land where it's going to land because they're just sort of trying. Yeah, because I mean it's
Eat.
yeah, just shot putting it down.
So I've got like 30 arrows, and I dip like each one, and then once I've done that, I take my loot apart. Like if either of you are right there, you can see I'm just like I'm unscrewing things.
Mhm.
I'm like taking my loot apart, and then I take a crossbow bolt out of the loot, and then I dip it
Oh,
into the poison, and then I gently push it back in, and that takes me like 5-10 minutes to take the loot apart, and then
Oh, it's the
together.
It's the Merrimack. It's the Merrimack war loot.
yeah.
A
One shot only.
Yeah, no, but listen, no, the Merrimack is a nice. It's a nice piece of equipment right there.
And then I end up dipping the rest of my crossbow bolts in there too. So they're all of my
Just getting a little bit of
ranged
something on
arrow
there.
things.
Every bladed object that Hugon possesses
Yeah.
is getting dipped.
Oh yeah, my short swords too.
Every single weapon. that he
These
has
gnolls will be
is-
tripping face when we're done.
Oh, listen, it's gonna be wild.
I'm probably like really confused on why everyone's dipping stuff since I have no idea what it is. So I just like kind of take the bag, take out an orb.
No.
What we're
Right.
supposed to do?
That's venom. Did the
She
orbs?
just shrugs and keeps going.
God damn you!
Well, no,
That's-
think about it. Now the shrapnel is gonna be coated with.
It's also gonna get on her hands, and she's gonna go. Well,
Oh, that's true.
And like
Dren, my
I think if
Constitution check.
I think if I see her doing that, I'll be like, you should be wearing gloves.
I look at my leather gloves, be like,
Oh no, that's right. No, she's got her gloves on. You're fine.
Oh, yes,
You're
no,
fine.
oh, okay. Well, then I don't
No,
say that.
No, these are fine because these are welding gloves. These are used to high
Okay.
heat, so they're fine. She's not gonna have it all over her hands. She has her.
But she's
I'll
gonna
have it on
touch
my
her
glove.
face in like 5 minutes.
no, it's gonna be the thing where I get a donut and then I'm gonna eat.
then you're gonna die.
Or you ever see Star Trek: The Naked Time or The Naked Now, whatever from the original series, where they're on the ship that's been all infected, right? And the guy gets the crap on his hands. They're all wearing hazmat suits, and one guy's sitting there going like this. And he reaches under his hazmat suit like helmet and wipes the disease all over his face.
I think I missed that part of the episode. I always wondered, how the hell did they get that crap back on the ship?
Yeah, I'm wearing a hazmat suit.
He like unhazmats himself and is like,
Yeah.
What?
Wait. It's like, well, gee, no sense wearing the suit anymore. Thunuk, what would Thunuk be doing to prepare for the incoming?
That's a fucking
Guzzling his soup, for one.
He's guzzling his soup. So
Guzzling his soup.
You do a guzzle.
He does a guzzle. And he's probably not going to be able to finish it because he's probably a little bit concerned about like bad times are coming. You don't want two full stomachs, so he's basically taking a couple of swigs and he's walking the line. And he's like, "Anybody got a bowl? You want some?" And basically passing out a bit of soup to anyone he comes across.
A bit of Furbolg backwash.
And then he takes a swig and he's like, "You want some?"
but he's have like the one that like there's a couple guys that are like eating their soup like really grateful, right? And then like you're going online and they see you just take a swig out of the bowl and keep going, and they're like, and you see him pour out because like as it comes down, there's like the line of spit that goes from like the lip to like the bowl, just the line is.
He's got a beard made of soup right now.
Yeah, he's feeling a little phlegmy, so do not Hugon. Thunuk, do an intelligence check.
Intelligence, A.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a 10.
You think you're forgetting something. You think you're forgetting to do something.
He listens for the loudest barking of orders and starts walking that way. That's basically where's Hugh gone? I'm forgetting something, and as he's going, he's like, "Want some soup? Glug, 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 soup, glug, glug, glug." And as he gets to Hugon, he's like, just enough left for Hugon. He's like, "Want some soup?"
No, what?
Bah.
Did you check to see if the gate was open for Laura Lissa and Kohan?
I'm gonna get more soup.
No, you're gonna go check the gate.
Stomp.
You didn't, did you? And he's shouting after him. He's gonna, no doubt, sprints away.
So
he's literally sprinting at his full speed all the way down there, back to the inn.
So you get down the steps. Like It's like a kid when a kid like sprints down the steps, like you miss a couple. It's okay.
You fall, you roll, you get back up.
You sort of slide partially down the steps.
Considering his size of his feet and the size of him, I think he's skipping flights.
Yeah, right down. Gets over to the thing. Survival check, so we could do the dial. Got to dial right.
9.
You've dialed this one like 5 times now.
It doesn't go. It hits up and then all the runes just like fade. Like you didn't dial it correctly.
I like how you never remember. Like Thunuk never remembers it. He's like, oh, I
never call myself.
If it was cooking, he'd probably remember it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you want me to roll again.
Yeah.
So I did, and I got a 21 this time.
Okay, this time
better.
Ding, 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 ding. You're able to Simon Says It. Event horizon opens, and a very cold Kohan and a very cold Laura Lissa emerge from the other side.
And they say Thunuk with his stick up like this. He's like he's not even sure if like maybe it was the wrong portal. Maybe the I forgot their names now.
Laura
the
Lissa
Knolls?
and Kohan.
The Knolls. Thank you. The Knolls are coming through. He's like,
no, I'm gonna get you.
And she comes in, and she like gives you like a little scratch behind the ear. She like reaches up as high as she can, gives you a little scratch behind the ear. And then Kohan comes over, and even though you're taller than him, he gives you like a bone-crushing hug. Like you hear your back, because it does a little adjustment for you.
adjust, yeah.
And right as you're about to, right as you're about to turn the gate off, she goes, "No, no, no, no! Wait, we're bringing help."
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's not the potato scouts or that one.
No,
girl
no,
who
no, 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 no,
gotta
no.
stay with her. Okay, because they have all of them have to sit back there.
No, 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 no. They're staying. Wait, no, I understand. No, no. The kids are already hiding.
Okay,
They've already found hiding spaces.
they're really good at that.
They are really good at that. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
And no, Tadell. Oh God, I love her. She's amazing.
He is nice.
Yeah, she's staying. She understands,
Okay.
but she's gonna stay. No, 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 no. We got. You might want to move away. You might want to move away from the gate.
To the side or back?
Just kind of like you might want to give some space here.
Just
Oh,
take
okay.
your giant ass and put it somewhere else.
So she kind of pulls you to the side, and this enormous white furred
Oh no!
paw comes through, and like you can see, it's kind of a tight squeeze. Kind of a tight squeeze, but this enormous, abominable yeti works his way through. If I remember his name, it's Nuckluck.
It is
Yeah.
Nuckluck the Yeti.
He's able to kind of squeeze his way through.
Are Yetis giant, Ken?
Yes.
Really?
I looked it up afterward. I'm like, we're cousins.
Ah!
And he comes out and he's like, "It's an awful small place you got here."
Uh,
I forgot he talks like that.
it is the basement, but also I think I'm the biggest person they've ever seen in this town. So, congratulations, you have beat that record.
Hmm. How
Uh,
am I gonna get out of here?
there's a back door.
Oh,
It's
okay.
much easier.
So he comes through, and he goes, "I'm bringing some friends too. Is that okay?"
More Yetis!
Sure.
A cornucopia of
And then-
Yetis!
About
More
a
friends,
dozen,
good.
about a dozen monks come through, no longer wearing like they're wearing like their training robes. You can see, but they've all got like their bow staffs with them. And so now you're all kind of crowded into the basement here. It's very, very tight. It's a very, very tight fit.
It's like a house party with too many guests.
Yeah,
What could have been like the very dramatic entrance of the elves at Helm's Deep is basically it's just like
but if they're all trying to get into the
Clown
same
car
elevator,
now.
It's
But-
like trying to come out of a broom closet, like, ah.
yeah, but they're all like crammed into an elevator.
For
I don't-
future reference, it's called a flurry of Yetis.
Is it a flurry
Oh.
of Yetis? Forgive me.
Flurry,
Flurry
of
of
Yetis.
Yetis. Okay, but there's only the one. There's only the
I was
one.
expecting a flurry.
Not an avalanche of Yetis, because it seems like an avalanche of Yetis would be more on brand. But anyway, so they all come through. You're able to shut the gate down. Nuckluck goes to that back, like kind of like barn door, and basically is just pushes on it, and just like dirt starts falling in because this thing was buried. This thing has like not been used in a long time, and he gets up into that and pushes, and like dirt's all falling down, getting in his fur, and it's really obvious because he's got white fur and there's all this brown, and you see some grass coming through, and like the sod is splitting, and he's able to push the doors open. What's better? God, it's hot down here!
oh, I should have warned you about that. I'm sorry.
Dear gods, how do you stand? Oh God, and almost like immediately you can see like the hair starting to frizz.
He becomes a poof. A giant poof.
So he comes out. So you lead everyone out. I'm assuming you lead them down to Hugon.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
Hugon,
Hugon is like immediately like, what?
oh yeah, you're
the
doing your work
hell?
here, and Hugon, you hear. Dum, dum. If you had a glass of water, it would be doing the Jurassic Park thing right now, like little vibrations. And you turn around, and here it's almost like walking in slow motion. You have Thunuk, you've got Laura Lissa, you've got Quohand, you've got Nuckluck, you've got all these monks, and they're just like doing the slow hero walk right towards you.
God, what's that movie called? Armageddon Walk.
Yeah, it's the
The
army.
big-
Yeah, exactly. They're all walking up there, like the Reservoir Dogs walk. They're all almost slow motion. The
That's
ground
amazing.
is shaking under Nuckluck's like massive form.
And Hugon just starts to laugh, and like not like a pleasant laugh, like a really like evil laugh. Like
Mad scientist time.
Yeah, he's like, oh, these guys are so fucked up. This is great.
So, you've seen the monks. You've never I don't think you saw Nuckluck before. No.
I didn't.
Yeah. And Dren, you obviously notice because he kind of kept you from sledding off the side of a mountain.
Fluffy.
And I think the last time you saw Kohan, you had electrocuted him almost to death.
Yes.
It happened.
Things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like you, Fluffy.
No, he was just like collateral damage as you were trying
He
to
just kind of in the way.
That's true. I guess I'll be impartial,
of other things.
but I like Fluffy.
So is it like a scamper up? Is it like as soon as you see him, it's like is it a compulsive jungle gym?
Kind of. It's like the Sonic thing. It's just like
That's extraordinarily familiar of you.
Yes.
What are you doing? What?
Get the hell off me, bat!
What is the little one doing?
She has no concept of personal space or manners. If you would like to throw her, please feel free.
Don't throw her. That's how she says hi to big people.
Well,
Still extremely rude.
Customs.
gives a little, like, kind of like a self-conscious, kind of like an awkward pat, like, hello, little one.
Hi again.
Like it's like, phoom, phoom.
Yeah, sink.
Up to your neck in his fur now. He's a thick boy.
happy.
You're actually pretty deep in the fur, and you haven't hit Yeti yet.
Yes, that's true.
Dense.
He's dense.
This dense boy.
He's all fur and sneakers. So,
I'm wearing red sneakers now.
So, Laura Alyssa comes over to you, Hugon,
Because of course she does.
gives you a punch in the shoulder. A not insubstantial punch in the shoulder, like it, So, couldn't deal with it without us, huh?
I like to hedge my bets, and you're very good at what you do.
Never forget it. Where do you need us? We brought friends.
I
case you hadn't
see that,
noticed.
and I am grateful for that. I'm not sure how they're going to attack. They're on their way now. We've got the causeway mined with caltrops that are poisoned, so don't step on those. We've got the bridge ready to be destroyed if they start to overwhelm us, sort of cut off their numbers. The river's been fortified as well.
The river.
Yeah,
look.
apparently Thunuk has an understanding with otters and beavers. Who'd have thought?
Yeah, that tracks. Sheila just looks over at Thunuk and like,
Yeah.
Okay,
Got it.
like no questions needed. Like I got it. Yeah.
I'm thinking this is going to be nasty. Nuckluck's going to have to be one of our ace in the holes here. He's going to have to be a shock trooper. If something really nasty, and I'm sure that there are really nasty things in this army, shows up, something big, that's Nuckluck's job. You are on headhunting duty. I want you to start murdering the command structure as soon as you possibly can. One of them is some kind of undead wearing my grandfather's body. Avoid
Ew.
him. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Avoid him, avoid his dragonborn compatriot, and there's also like a 9.5 foot tall gnoll that you should probably avoid. Those are probably a little bit beyond a solo fight.
Kohan just says. Does you see him start like getting this like wicked smile as you describe?
Yeah, I know. And he's like, Hugon is like, yeah, Kohan, your bravado is finally gonna come in handy here. You're a frontliner, of course.
Of course.
We'll be meeting on the bridge. My team and I think, are also going to be taking the bridge. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The monks, I don't really know what their skill set is.
They can fight.
Well, I'm not saying they can't. I'm not familiar with employing monks in terms of defense. Do we want them in the woods hunting? Do we want them in the walls defending? In the towers? Where are they best going to fit?
And the one monk says, we'd be best where we can move as much as possible.
All right, then I'll let you handle your own deployment. Then
And there's like some silent hand signals between the monks, and they immediately just go into that samurai ninja run, and silently just move down the trench and just are bounding off, like missing everything, missing all the caltrops. Boom,
making a show of it.
You're not even sure. It's very efficient forward movement, but rather than stopping that forward momentum, it might be they'd run up to the side of something and they're over the bridge and they disappear into the woods.
Okay, well, that's fine for that. Watch out for werewolves. I should mention that.
Dear
Right
God,
now.
who did you piss off?
Ask Dren. It's her fault.
Dren?
Peek up like from fur and kind of scamper down. Like, what?
Hugon's saying it's your fault.
Because it is.
No.
They came after you specifically to take your lantern.
That doesn't mean it's my fault.
It means it's your fault.
Your dad's here.
Something wearing my grandfather is here. It's not my father.
Seems kind of cyclical, by the way.
What is?
This happened here before,
It did.
and we were here. So was your grandfather. That was weird.
It was, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's your cult's problem. You know, the people with the masks, and you're everywhere.
What cult?
Wait,
No,
what do you mean cult with masks?
It's not a cult.
it's not a cult.
It's complicated. You know how
That's exactly what someone in a cult would say. I've met a few people in cults. There's a cults that tried to take my brother and I
Alright.
when we were younger.
Okay,
And
alright.
they always say, no, it's not a cult. We're just people that get along real well, and we like to do things together.
They
Next thing you know,
all
they're
have
trying to
matching
shave your head.
masks.
And
Okay,
next thing
you
you know,
know-
they're trying to get you to shave your head, carve things into your arms, and then trying to get you to drink weird shit.
It's a social group.
You
It's
know,
a gathering.
Are you familiar with warlocks at all?
Yeah.
Okay. You know how they have nefarious infernal agreements with powers beyond their understanding?
Sure.
Okay, well, it's kind of like that, except it's much easier to understand, and it doesn't really have any power.
So it's a cult.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, why aren't there any peace locks?
Wouldn't that
mean,
be
nefarious and infernal contract that generally doesn't. It's not very peaceful.
So she goes, no, you're right. It doesn't sound like a cult to me. She turns to you, Drum. She goes,
Think of it as a partnership.
Totally a cult. I mean, look at his arm. You said the marking with the arms thing. Look at his arm right now.
ew, what happened to your arm?
That's also Dren's fault. You remember how we went to the Shadowfell?
Yeah.
Okay. While we were there, a bug laid an egg in my arm. And then it hatched.
How is that Dren's fault?
Because Dren walked us into the Shadowfell. And if we hadn't gone there, I wouldn't have gotten the bug in my arm.
I didn't
Mhm.
tell him to follow.
I know, you and I had that handled. We could have just gone and done what we had to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm regretting bringing you here. No.
I know, honey. I know.
Can we play 20 questions after we're...
Yes, we can play 20 questions after. Is there any place specific where you need me?
Wherever you think you're going to function best. If you
Okay.
think that's going to be in town, fine. If you think that's going to be in the woods,
Let
also
me
fine.
let me take a walk with my brother, and we'll figure out. We'll
Fair enough.
get a lay of the land. So they go walking off down there. Like you can see they're pointing at different things. You can see them chatting a little bit. You notice that Quohan was remarkably silent during the entire back and
He
forth
does that.
there.
Good.
You know,
also
give
talk.
me a perception check.
It's 21.
You noticed that Quohan was remarkably silent, and you noticed that he very pointedly avoided ever making eye contact with Hugon? In your experience, you think that's someone who has a crush acts.
Say that word again.
In your experience, you think you've seen people who have a crush on someone and that's how they act.
A crush on. Oh. Okay.
It's
So,
great.
so he didn't look at Hugon.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say anything to him.
Mm-mm.
And I saw little hearts flying around his head. So did they go off? Did they wander off?
Yeah, they wandered off. Yeah.
All right. I don't say anything.
I say nothing.
I say.
I don't even let on like that I saw anything.
Performance check.
All right. Oh Jesus fuck. Well, at least I have a +10, so that's 13.
You're like doing kind of like the ever so slightly of like someone could like see like you're like kind of like.
Yeah, and like I try to play it off like I take my journal back out of my bag.
Oh no, I just remembered a funny joke.
Dear diary, I saw something interesting
Saw a thing today. It was a thing.
but I'm not going to write down what it was, and that's the end of it.
So it sounds like you're gonna have your team stationed on the bridge.
I mean, on the bridge, maybe that's our zone, so to speak. The actual bridge itself is where we're meeting the enemy.
So, is there any other things that anybody would like to attend to? Because you feel like battle is impending. Is there anything that you would like? Is there any like last minute things that you would like, that you feel the need to attend to as you start to feel like a hush falling over the forest?
Did Drin bring her bag with her?
Oh, of course, Drin has her bag with her.
I was dipping my grenades in the poison.
Oh, right. How could I forget? How could I
Oh
forget?
no, that one almost and like you like put it down and starts to roll down the hill. Rozzy quick grabs it, is rolling it back up the hill.
I grab Buck and I'm like going over all the things that happened,
Mm-hmm.
like that Dren lost her lantern and that there were these people, and I describe these people,
Mm-hmm.
and I say what their names are and stuff, and I say and if anybody should find this message, and I do this whole thing.
Oh, like the
It is all Drin's fault.
Yeah, no, I don't say that.
like the whoever finds this message, please someone go find whoever and tell them blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I say just take this to Acquisitions Incorporated headquarters. If anybody finds this, it's and
If you're listening to this, I'm already dead.
if you're listening to this, then I'm already dead.
And you can save
I'm Troy
25% on car insurance.
Hi, I'm Troy McClure. No, so yeah, I just do the last bit of history, and then I pat Buck on the top of its buck,
Mhm.
and I just because I don't really know exactly what it is. It's just
Mhm.
this thing.
It's Buck.
And I just kind of tap it.
Thunuk, what would anything? Is there anything that Thunuk would need? Has Thunuk ever seen a battle of like this? And if he
has
had, or regardless, yeah.
He has not, but it occurs to him that he was given a bit of wisdom a little while ago that would be better than beavers chewing away at a bridge. So he's going to go down to the bridge and he's going to carve a glyph into the middle of the bridge.
Hmm. And what is this? What is this glyph?
This is the glyph of warding.
Okay.
When you cast a spell, you inscribe a glyph that later unleashes a magical effect. You inscribe it either on a surface or within an object that can be closed. And he doesn't understand that it can be as big or as small as he wants it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Only that he was told to put it on things, so he's putting it on the whole bridge. So basically, like across the bridge, like if you're walking down it. Now, doesn't mean anyone's going to know what the heck it is, but when he triggers it, it's going to explode and deal 5d8 damage to whoever's within the radius of its area.
Oh, damn.
I like it.
Jeez.
And I'm thinking thunder damage.
Can't go wrong.
Although I could do electrical.
Thunder
So
would be cool.
So we won't even need to contact the Badgers.
No.
We might need to.
Beavers, but
The plan's already in place, so we can keep it for now.
well, he probably wouldn't even think to tell anyone that he's making alternate plans.
You
This
just
is
need-
true. He probably wouldn't.
You just
He's
see
super
Philnik up on the
stressed.
bridge, doing his thing, being Philnik.
He's basically got like a garden trowel and he's carving into the, because he's like, I can't use my rune carving knife is too small.
Not realizing that the rune doesn't have to be the size of the bridge to get the same effect.
Yeah, it could be like the size of your thumb and do the same thing, but
Drenmai, what are you doing in preparation of this battle?
Probably finding like my best location, like on the hill, so I can like huck these. So I've got like good line of sight.
Okay.
I know we don't really have time, but is there a way we could like put them on the end of some of the seamstress needles?
I could probably just because it's just a spear. So and
Yeah,
then
I
it's
mean,
got like the
I don't know if it'll
part
actually.
that I put to it.
Hugon, you think that would actually probably mess up the aiming?
Yeah, the
'Cause now it's-
forces involved too might also shatter the sphere.
Yeah.
ooh,
What?
extendo stick for like when you throw a ball.
Oh, like a Yai hook?
Those flingy thing.
Wait,
So
like- I don't know what it's called, but it's like people use them to throw the ball for their dog.
catapult, but the
What about a
plastic.
sling?
Yeah,
Like a slingshot.
I could just take a strip of leather and some rope and make a throwing one.
Drenmai, do a give me a perception check.
Perception. 14.
You think that your shield might be of an appropriate shape to act like one of those highlight hurlers.
Okay, but
That's
I don't
cool.
want to hold it. I want to, because it is curved,
Mm-hmm.
I want to put it on, like, because it goes like a teardrop, so I want to put it on the point, and I want to stand on the other side, and I want to jump on it so it goes, ping, like shovel thing.
Mm-hmm.
Seesaw, a dren saw.
A Drensaw.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to be like, okay, I can fit it like right there, and then go, fling,
Sounding suspicious as like a catapult, and I want to call it a drenapult.
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 It is now a Drenapult.
I'm waiting for one of the grenades to hit her in the back of the head.
pretty much.
Just a bang!
Ow.
Hugon, what are the things that you would be doing? Seeing as how this is like old hat for you, you've seen the preparations of battle.
How many? I mean, like we don't have too many people on our side right now, right? The workers are all gone. Right?
Some of the workers have left, and they probably evacuated. But you've got enough of a fort. It's not nearly as big as you would like it to be.
Right. I've got my interns.
Yeah, of which we
monks.
have about 40 or so left of those.
40. So
You
interns,
do have some at the town
a
watch.
Nuckluck,
Yeah.
a Lorelissa, a
Mhm.
Kohan, the rest of Team X,
Mm-hmm.
and Shadow Monks.
Mm-hmm.
So probably all told, probably 60 people. Maybe?
60 people that you would like consider to be like the most competently trained folks there, and you do have some of the townspeople that stayed behind that are competent enough with a bow and arrow, with slings, with to act as support.
I would like to make a history check to try and arrange a defense fit for these conditions.
All right, do a history check, and then while you're at it, all of you do another perception check.
Do you have any more bardic inspiration?
Yeah. So I look at you, and it looks like you're trying to struggling with something, and I'm like, Hey, everything's gonna work out right.
That's a D8.
That's
Yeah.
a D8.
I got a 17.
17,
21.
21,
15.
15,
17 on my
17
history
on the history check. You think that you could figure out a way to, with the meager forces that you have, you think you could figure out a way to configure them as best as possible to make the most use, to cover the most ground, make the best use of your archers.
Then I do that thing.
Yes.
That thing that you say, I do.
So you're like now directing people. You go over here, station over here, and give it. Okay, only wait until you can see them and do this and blah 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 blah.
Don't fall off the tower.
Yeah.
That's bad.
But give me a perception check.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a natural 20.
Ba, 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 ba.
Oh, I can do this now.
bomb.
I can do this now. Hang on. I'm so excited about this. There we go. We got a Bwomp. So you all of you spent the last couple hours getting yourselves prepared, doing all these things. The sun is just, you can see that, like that thin red line just over the treetops from the sun beginning to peek its head over the horizon. But as you do that, you can hear now, distantly but distinctly, the sounds of war drums approaching. It's this terrible, terrible sound, and you can kind of feel it in your gut that this battle is upon you.
I use prestidigitation to make really loud war drums going towards them.
I love it. I don't know what it'll do, but it's amazing.
Well, we will find out what it does next week.
Ah,
For that is our game
Poo.
this evening. So, everyone, thank you. Well, guys, thank you very much for playing Dungeons and Dragons with me again. Thank you for being my friend. And for the folks in chat, thank you very much for participating today. It was great to have you along. We're going to be back in just 2 shakes of a lamb's tail to do our table talk section of the game, and we'll see you in just like depending on the needs. We will be back momentarily, and right as we're going away, I just want to make sure that everyone knows that I never said the word And we are back with Table Talk. So, oh, you know what? I put my dice away too soon. Because we need to figure out, this is how we figure out how we're going to start, where we're going to go. So,
Roll your d4.
roll
Go.
my d4. And we are starting in quadrant 4.
Ooh, that
is
means
Roz.
It is Dren.
No, it is Dren. You're right. Because I can't do geometry.
Because Cartesian planes, yeah.
Yes. So, favorite moment of the game?
Let's see. I actually really kind of the moment where we come back and Hugon's like, we need to GTFO, and then goes to look for Thanook and is just gone.
Like, oh, okay.
Where's my big man?
Where is the large object that was here moments before?
And Thanook's just probably standing there, really confused, like I'm right here, but doesn't say anything, but scared. You know, the complete invisible mode, and it cracks me up. I like that one.
Okay, well, moving in a clockwise fashion.
Okay.
We'll just keep on going in that.
Eno's solution to getting the hell out of there as quickly as possible.
It was good.
Yeah, it was perfect.
It was good. The poof.
The
It's
poof,
fantastic.
just out. Just bam.
That doesn't belong. Oh, he's gone. I had something snide to say.
Who was it that said that, by the way? Was that yet another character we're not familiar with, or was that gigantic Knoll?
Who can say?
He didn't have time to do a perception check. He was busy disappearing into a dimensional door.
That's a good point.
And it was
With
very
the,
dark.
With the deal with it sunglasses. Just going. Bye.
Yeah, he Star-Lorded out of there, man.
He did. He done did poof.
Moving down into quadrant 2.
Oh. Man. I honestly, I don't know why I can't remember it. Eno did something that made me choke on my water.
It was at the end there. It was right at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it?
I was drinking, and then my body was like, choke now. And so it kind of like removed whatever was funny about it. But damn it, now I'm mad. I can't remember.
We'll have to go back and watch the...
We'll have to go back and watch it.
I don't remember what I did.
Was it after everyone showed up from the monastery?
Yeah.
It was after everybody showed up, and I was taking a drink of water, and then it was either Eno or Thanook that did something really damn funny. And like I about died.
I guess you're going to have to clip it. You're going to have to go look
We're
at
gonna
it.
have to find it. We're gonna have to.
Was
find
it something with the tree,
No,
like that section?
I don't think it was the tree. It wasn't.
Oh,
the
no. Eno made drums coming towards. He used thaumaturgy.
No, but it was before that. It was.
Was it the
before-
journal?
It was something with the journal, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, with the NPC
I
that like
saw a thing.
yeah, I saw a thing today, and I'm not going to write down
I'm
what
not
it
gonna
was.
write it down. That whole the journal scene was great. That was fun.
Okay.
Trying to hide the somebody has some feelings about somebody else.
Roz.
There was a lot of good moments. I mean, I usually try and pick something that somebody else did, but
You can
I'm
pick. It's
so-
perfectly fine to pick.
We're fine with picking self.
I'm
Give us
so
the-
happy. I'm so happy that I got the lantern back.
Yes.
That was clutch.
That was Dren.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
call that money.
There is any number of ways where that could have gone horribly, horribly wrong.
I had a contingency plan that I was going to enact, I'll just say it involved performance.
I'm gonna soothe
Yeah.
the savage beast.
I'll just say it involved performance and perhaps a song, but I'll have to save that for another time when I need to get out of a jam.
Yes, please do. I think my favorite moment, I'm gonna say it's actually a few moments, but it's more of a theme of moments. Is I'm always happy to hear Eno's songs of inspiration. I truly am. I truly am, and it's just fun. So that's always a favorite moment.
Thank you.
So we have a couple questions from the stream. One is that girl with honey. What is the journal?
Oh, was it the journal?
No, that was
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Was it the journal?
Oh,
Yeah, what I wrote down. in the
I'm
journal.
sorry. I
In
thought
reference to my moment.
okay, my dyslexia is kicking in. Never mind. So never
No
mind.
problem.
Never mind. I'm not going to bother to answer that question. I'm going to put my book away.
Dear diary.
So, scary, crazy butter knife. You are dipping into some nice mythology here. I'm not going to confirm nor deny anything because that would be giving away too much one way or the other. There's just a lot of big, nasty, scary things in Dungeons and Dragons, and the party is finally powerful enough. They've been powerful for a while. I think I've always underwhelmed them with battles. It's never been.
Not true.
It's never really because you guys are coming out virtually unscathed
Listen,
in some of these things.
We might roll well, but like the werewolf fight was legitimately one of the most scary fights that I've been in
I
because
specifically remember being covered in shit as well.
well, yeah, but that shit
Literally.
wasn't going to kill you.
So, yeah. So
I'm expecting cleric of Yinagu or maybe paladin of Yinagu.
so if anyone, if in the chat, if you do have any questions for us, I mean, please feel free, ask away. That's what we are here for. We are here to entertain you. We are your dancing puppets. We are the marionettes.
He's
No.
a marionette. Brian is. Brian's a marionette. Yeah. We did dance for us, DM. Your carefully laid plan.
I shall
Dance
ruin it
more.
by thinking of the one thing that you didn't think of.
Dance
Exactly.
me, slave.
Find the loophole.
randomly cooking something. Wah, ha, ha, ha.
I'm going to use truffle oil. How does that make you feel?
Oh, that makes me feel angry. That is
I'm going to use too much.
level 20 anger on using the white truffle oil. No!
Oh,
I'm going to
That's what you get when,
accidentally
that's what you
too
get when
much
you roll a 1. When you roll a 1 with cooking, you end up using white truffle oil. That's just what happens.
Nom, nom, nom.
So any weekly recommendations that we can add into the Discord? And if you aren't in our
boy.
Discord, you can
I
absolutely
had,
join our Discord.
Weekly recommendation. If you're in the Southwest anywhere, I had Menudo for the first time today, and oh my
Nom, nom,
god,
nom.
that is some amazing food.
What is that?
Menudo is
It's a
cow stomach?
It's a boy band from the 90s or from
No.
the 80s, isn't it?
That as
Actually-
well.
Oh, it's tripe?
it's not tripe in the traditional sense.
Not the exactest
Well,
tripe.
I mean, the stomach is tripe.
It's true, but it's like hang on, let me pull up the Wikipedia page real fast.
I mean, to be fair, Menudo was kind of tripe.
Menudo, also known as panquita, little gut or little stomach, from Spanish panza, etc., is a traditional Mexican soup made with a cow's stomach. Okay, so they do call it a tripe here.
Mm.
Interesting. I thought it was a different part of the stomach. In broth with a red chili pepper base. It is incredible, and they also had a either like a I think they had a hoof in mind, like a pig's foot.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Well, there
Super
you go.
fantastic.
Well, we'll put that into the weekly rec channel that we have on our Discord now. We added it last week, so we can keep track of all these great things.
If you like animes, watch A Silent Voice, the movie. It's on Netflix.
Oh, is
It'll give you the feels. It is on Netflix now.
Okay.
I saw it pop up. I was like, oh, cool. And I put it on while I was working. And I'm like, man, the feels are real.
I will try to resist them.
Yeah, it's one of those feels movies. So
Get you right in the feels.
it gets you right in the feels.
I've been looking for Wolf Children because I hear very similar things about that.
I haven't watched that one yet.
It looks super cute.
I'm trying to get back into getting caught up with things.
Trying to think of the last anime that I watched. I think it was My Hero Academia
That's a good one.
that I watched. Yeah.
We watched Bleach, and before that, I made the mistake of binging.
I love
Evangelion.
Evangelion. Yeah. Don't do that.
They'll do it to you.
That's I cannot recommend not doing that enough because that is don't
That gets an A+. Don't do.
do. And when Mike Krahulik said he was watching it with, I guess I don't know which one
One
of
of his
sons.
children.
And it's like there's some stuff in there that okay, all right, there's a little bit of nudity, but it's kind of like as PG-13 nudity as can get. But then the movie,
And then there's some like
then there's the movie, and in
It's
the
like,
first
oh my
5 minutes,
God.
something really inappropriate happens, and it's like, oh God, no,
Wait, what movie is this? I gotta...
no,
end of
No.
Evangelion.
end of Evangelion, and it's just like, dude, what's wrong? What happened to you? Who did this to
Please-
you?
Please stop. Please stop. Also
What?
die.
Just wow. So, I started watching the Chef show on Netflix. So
Okay.
when Jon Favreau made the movie Chef, which I also recommend, it's a really just fun, nice movie. But so the story was, I can't remember the name of the chef that he worked with, but it's the guy that basically started the food truck craze. He was like this famous chef out of LA, got fed up with it and said screw it, and he went and started making Korean barbecue tacos.
Mm.
And that's what really launched this whole idea of a food truck being more than just hot dogs and like cheap stuff. It was like, wow, you can actually get really awesome food. And he also did it right when Twitter came along. So it was a perfect storm where he was able to move the truck around and everyone's like, oh, Twitter, this is a brand new thing. And there was a food critic that like wrote really something nice about him and really elevated it and really made it. And all. So when Jon Favreau wanted to make this movie, he talked to this guy. When he wanted to make this, the chef said, okay, I'll help you, but you've got to do it. You've got to be all in, and you've got to do it the way I'm telling you to do it, because movies get cooking and chefs wrong all the time, and it drives chefs nuts. So this was the guy that Jon Favreau trained with, so that way he was doing all the chefy things properly. He was holding and dicing everything properly, and he was the way he was working at the grill. And you can there's like a scene during the credits where you see Jon Favreau actually working with the guy where they're making a grilled cheese sandwich, and he was like, oh no, your world's all right here, it's right here right now, and if it goes wrong, everything's awful and you just want to die. And just but he got upset that he wasn't able to work with this guy anymore, so he decided to do a television show with the guy called The Chef
Like,
Show.
I would really like to make more food with this guy.
Yeah.
Time to do some TV.
Exactly. And he had no idea when they first did the first one, like, I have no idea what we're doing, but we're going to do it and we'll figure out what we'll do with it afterwards. And so he did a little bit with what's her face? Gwyneth Paltrow, who forgot that she was in Spider-Man Homecoming.
In her defense, they were filming all of those things back to back to back to
Yeah.
back. She probably thought it was just
I wasn't in
something
that.
else entirely.
Yeah. And then the second or third one, or the second one, they actually did like a lunch with Kevin Feige, the Russo brothers, Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland, as well as with the cook and the chef and Jon Favreau, and they did. So. But it's just them doing these, and they did one where they did nothing but the recipes from the movie Chef, and it's fun, and it's.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
It looks good. I'll have to
It's-
take a look at it.
And there's a really cool part. The way they do the animation, if you see it, there's a way they do the animation when they're introducing like the ingredients for the dish. That's just like really awesome. They did a really great job with it. So I'd recommend seeing the Chef Show, and I'll put that into the channel at some point this evening. Any other recommendations?
Starting to think of old shows that I've watched.
I start watching. The season's over, and so it's kind of you have to go find it. What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show, is great. You have to watch the movie first, though.
Okay.
Otherwise, the show just doesn't make any sense. Like
We do in
format
the
wise, anyway.
shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows is the movie is a reality TV show where they follow a bunch of vampires who live in New Zealand,
Oh.
and they basically just film. They're like they interview them and they film them, and like so like it's like an intro to the to actual vampires in New Zealand. But the TV show is the same thing, but in Staten Island.
Ah. Okay.
Okay.
Sold. Any other last minute recommendations?
If you want to hurt your brain, watch Excel Saga. It just came to my head.
Wow, yeah, that's another one.
I marathoned it one time. I hate
Cool.
life.
Serial Experiment Lane. That'll mess your brain.
Yeah. Fun. If you can get a hold of Excel Saga's DVD, because the last episode was never officially allowed to air anywhere.
Really?
It was that bad.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Jeez.
Duly noted.
The people that made it intentionally made it so it wasn't allowed to be aired. So it's only in the DVD because it got so violent and so over the top. They literally said, we're just going to push all possible boundaries.
All the buttons, we're gonna push them. All of them. Many,
Check all
many
the
times.
boxes. Even that one box that
Very
never gets
much.
checked at the bottom, we're checking that.
The one that covered in dust, check it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and did. And it's one of the most insane shows I've ever watched.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap up Table Talk this week on that note. Viking Goat Prime, what are we playing this week? Are we still on Resident Evil?
Still in Resident Evil 2. I figured out what I was doing wrong, and then I found out that all my promises were lies, and I'm still stuck in that bloody police station. And there's twice as much of it. Oh, and there's zombie dogs.
Oh,
Why?
good.
The zombie dogs are great.
Have you fought lictors yet?
I have fought lickers yet. I have already. I left off the game with a fist came through the freaking wall and crushed some dude's head.
No.
I'm
It
like,
happens.
oh, everything's downhill from here. I'm not escaping anytime soon.
Oh, goody.
I'm getting. Oh no! I thought I was leaving. No.
Nope.
On Monday, the first episode, little like 2-minute animation called The Resplendent Travelers, which is based on some NPCs that we encountered earlier this season. That's going to be going live. Just if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see it there. I'll be streaming on the Eat Drink Roll Twitch on Friday morning when I work on the animation for the next one. And then, of course, on Sunday, we will be back with an all-new episode of Team X. So, everyone, thank you so much for sticking around with us for Table Talk. Thank you for watching us. We truly do appreciate you taking out a few hours on your Sunday to hang out with us and say ridiculous and awful, absolutely awful puns in the chat there. Stop that. It drives me nuts. I'm trying not to laugh as I'm trying to DM here, trying to keep a mood, and I'm here and everybody, oh, just call him Whisper Jim. Stop that. Well, don't stop that, but you know what I mean. So,
And hopefully we make you hungry.
yes. So we're all going to eat now. Thank you all very, very much for joining us. We will be back next week, and keep an eye on our Twitters so that way you can see when we're going live again. Follow us on Twitter or follow us on here so you can get notifications. And we will see you all later. Everyone be cool, and later.
Bye.